Alrighty, we are going to go ahead and get started. Hope everyone is doing well today. What is up, folks? What's up, Con? What's up, OES? What's up, Cheese? This is going to be a long civil war. We will see. So, first off, is my mic working properly before I get going, given recent history? Just make sure. All good? It is fine. Alrighty. Well, alright, let's get some background. So last week when we ended the grand campaign for the day, we had a civil war which was beginning and wouldn't start, which I figured I had to start because, you know, I hate it when things just drag on forever like that. And I think there's a lot of reason actually for a civil war in Sardinia right now for any reason. The main issue though is in order to make it happen, I had to use a command that made all civil wars start. So there's an insurrection in Castalla and a civil war now in the US. We'll more of it when in the RP, you know, similar to kind of like the Springtime of Nations event, I guess, in Victoria 3 Vanilla. So it's a new wave of revolutions and revolts sweeping across some of the bigger countries in the world, which is fine. So, to give some background on the Civil War, it started primarily for the catalyst reason of our government had not accepted public schools. They would not do any reforms. Napoleon II, our current leader, is a very old school, very conservative guy, a shadow of his father. He's a very capable diplomat, as we've seen. He became a political operator. He's extremely corrupt and not the most competent. He did lead men in the Japanese-British War, where, if you remember, the high point, at least in my mind, was when the Japanese navally invaded Portsmouth with 100,000 men led by the shogun. That was the high point in my eyes, personally. And then they did a white peace together. But anyway, he did serve in that war and showed no real distinction. His government has been obviously one that has succeeded that of Napoleon I. Obviously Napoleon the Great, who for us was a pivotal figure in helping us to take much land in Italy, defeat Castalla, and defeat the Egyptians before he died trying to siege Cairo and got surrounded. But his son has been very incapable. The rebels are a mixture of basically everyone else. Think kind of like the Russian Civil War, wherein at a certain point it was the Bolsheviks versus just everyone else, left and right. Similar situation here, where despite his competence diplomatically, he's a very disliked monarch, right? He's very disliked. He's not a descendant of the original monarchs, and a lot of people want liberalization as well. So he's kind of decentralized power with the conservatives, with entrenched bureaucrats, with parts of the military that support him, which is not all of it. And he's just kind of run out of favor with his people, obviously refusing to do any reform as the final straw, and there has been a official civil war, which is about to happen. So, against Napoleon II, we do have a much more liberal Sardinia Corsica, which is, hold on, oh, god damn it, I didn't want to do one of the commands correctly. Oh, I'll save it. Anyway, this is the counter-revolution is led by Saeumundr Torres, who is the son of Solomon Torres, the one who went to Japan back in the day. After our recent intervention and helping the Japanese in their war with the British, Japan has decided that it would like to get much closer to Sardinia, but certainly not in its current form of an incompetent, corrupt leader in charge. And as such, ironically, despite us helping them, the Japanese will be funding and supporting the liberal revolt in mainland Italy, which has the support of most of the Japanese on all of Italy. North Africa will stay loyal to Napoleon after recent events. So we do have a civil war between Napoleon II and then Saeumundr Torres. If they take power, they're going to be a much more liberal government. Saeumundr Torres has three traits: tough, ambitious, explorer. He was obviously mostly raised in Japan with Solomon as kind of like an exiled court of the former monarch of Sardinia, as long as he reigned before the Civil War. His father is currently dead. And in the lore, we're going to go over a few interesting things. One, his mother was half Japanese, half British. She was a member of basically the ruling class of the British lands in Japan. So that is who Solomon ended up marrying and having children with after the Civil War when he fled. As well as, I'm going to go with explorer, being that given Japan's extreme amount of land that they've taken in the, obviously, Indonesian region, he probably did a lot of time in his younger days exploring parts of, like, you know, Indonesia, the jungles, regions like that, maybe even Southeast Asia. So interesting guy, interesting history. He's still fairly young, only 30 years old, and he's actually semi-popular. Imagine that for a monarch. That being said, I'm going to go briefly do a save edit, so bear with me. So I want to make the revolt a monarchy, not an oligarchy. That was not intentional. Bear with me in just a moment. Stuff I'm just going to go with, he has a military background, so most likely he would have served with the Japanese army in their war of the British, possibly even being there at the mainland invasion. So he's got a lot of Japanese culture. He'll be a very interesting guy. Okay. Turn the game off while I do this. Liberal monarchs, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, you got to remember the last of the Taurus monarchs, I mean, they were very strong, man, due to like Solomon and the need to reestablish the monarchy, but they were also pretty liberal. I mean, our monarchy in our country was at the cutting edge of liberalism for quite a while before, you know, we'll go with the more radical version showed up in Europe. So not impossible. I'm gonna do 2 quick edits and then we will be underway. Hope everyone is having a very good weekend. I had some internet problems this morning on top of everything else this week. Oh my gosh. Went camping with her dad and we were going to stay the whole weekend, but it got rained on and had to leave. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully you're gonna have another chance to go soon. Camping is a ton of fun. Okay. I've got these save edits down pretty good in Vic 3 again, so this should just be a minute. Beautiful. Sure, we're good to go here. Cool. School starts Wednesday, so that'll be fun. Hell yeah, man. You looking forward to it? We're good to go. Got the save real quick. I picture the gardens around the Sardinian royal palace getting koi ponds and chinoiserie architecture. I think it'll definitely cause some interesting cultural changes. He's also a jingoist, right? Who spent a lot of time growing up in Asia. We're gonna go in the lore because his culture is South Italian. That he obviously vacationed there. They were allowed to return to vacation, and he went to school in the University of Napoli. So he's got a fair bit of Italian culture too. Interesting mix. I've not been able to watch streams lately because I was on a trip to Stockholm. Can you explain what has happened since the beginning of Vic 3? Oh, dude, that's a I'll only cover Sardinia. It's too much to cover. It'd take too long otherwise. For Sardinia, Napoleon II has been in power since the end of EU4 when Napoleon I died. He's been very corrupt, but he's kind of undergone a really revolutionized the diplomacy for our country. We've rebuilt relations with all our countries in Europe who have hated us. He also has managed to convince the Cubans, who've gotten rid of the pirate government now in Vic 3 and reformed into a military junta, to rejoin us as like in our market, kind of like a pseudo vassal. And then he got such good relations with the Somalians that they've also joined our market. So, very like a really long diplomatic period. We also had an economic crash along with the rest of the world. And the role play I went with basically just been so much imperialistic wars that's kind of just caught up to things, and food production hadn't caught up with it. So a couple bad harvests in Europe and the rest of the world resulted in really just massive economic decline and quite a lot of even population decline in certain areas. So we've been really just stagnating and stabilizing our economy under the rule of a very conservative old school monarch, Napoleon II. So it's been an interesting period for us. That's been about it. There was also a very brief war at the end of the last session where we took more colonial lands in Indonesia alongside the Chagatai. So that got very hot. We almost went to war with them. Okay. We are about good. Make sure my save it worked. Yes, it did. King Saeumundr. Beautiful. Alrighty. So obviously, in our government right now, it would be absolute chaos. Well, I mean, we've known that a civil war is coming for quite some time, but given a lot of our military, both land and naval, is on mainland Italy, this will be a very difficult war for us, given that we have basically nothing. Our economy is not going to function, essentially, without mainland Europe. So it is going to be pretty freaking rough, not going to lie. Now, obviously, they have a much larger army, but they also do have to fight Ferrar, I think. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're going to stomp them, actually. Hold on. This isn't what I intended. God damn it. All right. To make this even, I'm going to do something. It'll screw us over a little bit here, but that's fine. I don't mind. Sort of roleplay. We're going to spice this up a little bit. Now, I mentioned before that Saeumundr, his mother, was basically a half-English noblewoman. So she was like an upper-class governor or like military officer in the region that Britain controls in Japan, who married a local Japanese woman. And then their daughter married Saeumundr after he fled to Japan. So we've got a lot of history with the British. Given that, and they'd be looking to liberalize more regions of Europe and not make them quite so extreme, I am going to make this war a little bit more even and interesting. Can't declare it quite yet. I'm gonna get the British to join on the side of the revolt. Because I would like to get the Japanese to do it, but they'd have to declare a diplomatic interest in Europe. And I don't really want to screw over the AI and make them do that. I guess we could. It is for the roleplay after all. It's for the roleplay. See if the AI will cancel this right after I do it. What's up, Scythe? How's it going? Hopefully Taurus gets back in power. I don't want Napoleon III. I don't want to like steamroll either side. I want kind of like an interesting semi-equal situation here and just kind of go where it is. What's up, Lady Gray? How are you doing? Missed out on the last couple of sessions. I'm still in E4 at the last part you uploaded. For sure. I will get the rest uploaded probably this coming week. We've got quite a few. I haven't uploaded the Napoleon episodes either. Okay, are we in the diplomatic phase? We are. Yeah, join it. I bet they stated they didn't want to get involved. God damn it. Well, that makes this more difficult to balance. All right, see if we can get Japan to join then. So you have no clouds installed? I don't believe I do. Okay, wait a little bit longer. Bear with me at the start. I want to get this revolt right. The Civil War is very important for us in terms of the roleplay. For many reasons. And we really don't want states to declare neutrality. Let's get the army mobilized. We will not be able to field basically any men due to all of our military industrial complex being within the revolt essentially, and all of our soldiers. Is there a model list for the victory campaign? Nope, I haven't got that too. It's been I'm trying to get around to stuff, folks. It's just a little rough right now in terms of what I can do, what I can't do. Okay, let's see. I do not want the Japanese to declare neutrality here. We'll let the AI control Sardinia for just a second. Hopefully they don't fuck us completely. Why can't we intervene? God damn it. Fig 3. Swear to God. Alright. I don't know why, but Japan won't be able to join. Okay. Oh, God damn it. This is inconvenient. I should have looked at this before I started. Just didn't think about it. Yeah, they have an interest in the part of Europe. They have an interest here. I think, at least. Let me check again just to make sure it's right. I have the technical part of it correct. No, not the Hosokawa. God damn it. They are still around, by the way. Just heads up, folks. Hosokawa does still exist. They just have an insignificant port of Southern Europe. God damn it, I need to turn off my Steam notifications. Yes, unless it got started in like North Africa or something like that. Shouldn't be. Sparked in Napoli. It's weird because they don't actually even see the diplomatic play happening right now. Maybe I bet it's because they're an unrecognized power. I would warrant that might be what it is. Okay, that makes this more difficult. We need to give them an ally, otherwise they're just gonna get, we're gonna rule them essentially, because America's actually already declared to support us because they've got a defensive agreement. So this is gonna make us very war torn and will fuck up our country, but I don't mind. So we'll go with the nuclear option. I think I can make the nuclear option happen. Yes, I can. Alrighty. Beautiful. We'll have to adapt the roleplay a little bit, but given that Bavaria likes our country quite a lot and likes liberalism even more, they would certainly want to see a liberal government in Sardinia. So, I fucking hate you, AI. I swear to actual Jesus. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna wait until the last second. I'm gonna put Bavaria in on their side. I'm gonna stay on Bavaria until it goes into the phase they can't leave, and then we're good. Ah, Victoria 3. Such a love-hate relationship with this game. The mechanics I love, and then they do stupid shit, and it's very hard to like them again. Victoria 3 is the toxic girlfriend of Paradox, right? She looks real fucking good. She's got everything you want in theory, but she's also a little bit crazy, and she'll hurt you now and then. Is it worth it? Maybe. Maybe. That really depends on the day. Yeah. That's how I describe this game in some ways. In most ways, actually. All right, let's keep a close eye. Okay. Please don't delete all my buildings. Yeah, I swear to God. Okay. Let's try this. We actually have to wait till the last minute, don't we, literally? Ooh, America left. America abandoned us. Oh, shit. They got one look at Bavaria and they were like, nope. That's interesting. Holy crap. Well, my oh my. You doesn't understand that because I'm lonely. You'll understand one day, don't worry. Then you won't want to. Well, you'll have mixed feelings about it. We'll go with that. Okay. All right, here we go. I think we have everything good. No, they don't. Bavaria is like the superpower of Europe right now. Make sure the war looks all good and everything. Okay. So we will be fighting this war on the behalf of Napoleon. Obviously, I want to always keep the narrative going with who we're playing. So if he loses, that's fine, but we're going to play till the end. And I will fight this war the best I can. We don't have many tools to, do that, but we'll do our best. So, we need some war music, don't we? Oh, we could go with... That's his last hurrah. I'm going to play this one. Alrighty. Currently, civil war is once more upon Sardinia. After the civil war that preceded the rise of Napoleon I, our country was thrown into turmoil. But many in our country still wish for the monarchs of old House Torres. Many hate them, many love them. For the liberals who are revolting, it is a mixture. Many of them are monarchists and wish to support the return of the old Torres line, but many more are simply liberals or even radical liberals who want to get a much more extreme government in charge and may seek to get rid of him once they have taken power and to get rid of the more moderate supporters on their side. But for all who fight against them, and even many who still exist within the borders of Sardinia, Corsica proper, it is clear that the line of Napoleon must end. His father was a great man who led our country to victory, a great general who then became an emperor, but his son is not that. And for any dynasty to be reaffirmed and created, which is so new, even with such a great leader in charge, there needs to be continuation of competence, and that we have not seen from Napoleon. Obviously, he would have likely known this was going to come at some point and would prepare, but there's only so much you can do when a lot of your country hates you. I still have debug mode on? God damn it. Thank you for telling me. Beautiful. All right. And as such, he is ready to fight out this war for all that it is worth. That being said, almost the entire military has abandoned us. I mean, the main reason is that most of our conscript soldiers and navy are based out of mainland Italy. We've really shifted there in terms of power. And as such, we have only one ship of war still with us and only 7 regular conscript armies to fight by our side. That being said, hope is not lost. We do have the support of some of our allies in that of Brazil, who will stand with us, Cuba, Somalia, and Ferrara also will fight with us. But that being said, with Bavaria, the radical government in Germany, fighting on the side of the liberals and our revolution, to be frank, there is little hope for victory. That being said, we'll fight it to the end. I'm going to take power personally with him as well. We're already in power, aren't we? We only have one, though. Oh, man. They have Corsica as well, which has always been kind of a hive of rebellion. And we're seeing that once again with them obviously defecting. The lands that we will continue to control are North Africa, the little bit of Tripoli we have, and then Sardinia proper. Everywhere else has gone against us, essentially. Besides the Belarus. Even... what about the colonies, actually? I'm curious about. looking good. Kid YouTubers and their quality? Oh, I don't understand children YouTube, man. I don't try to. It's a whole different animal. What's up, Frost? How you doing? Oh, Kuba got knocked out too. Oh boy. That's what happens when you can't field a navy. Who do we have left in the war? Just Somalia and Brazil still fighting out. And it won't matter. Caesarea and Lagador have already fallen. We don't have the capital. Wait, hold on, there's a holdout in the capital. There is still street fighting ongoing in Caesarea right now. Over 40,000 troops have entrenched themselves within the city proper. There's many fortresses. Given it's built on the hills and mountains too, it will be semi-defensible. I don't know why the front bugged, but it does make this interesting. Well, the other part of the army of the rebellion is pushing south to Cagliari. I mean, we would have built up defenses on this island for over, you know, like 700 years, 800 years. We've never had this island fall before. So the amount of defenses both on like the sea and inside of it that we would have built up to prepare for things like this would be immense. So taking it will be very difficult. That being said, when you have so few troops, it is quite difficult. This technically will be the first time Sardinia will fall to an invading army, I think probably since CK3 actually. So that's another big moment, because you got to remember, this is not just your rebels army here. Brazil's out too. It's also the Bavarians. God damn. They're just knocking out all of our allies while we're besieged. Not gonna hold this. Brazil still wants to reconcile. Yeah, it's about over. God damn. We'll have to assess the damage after the war too. Thankfully, mainland Italy won't get sieged out where a lot of our industry is, but Sardinia is going to be pretty rough after the war. Napoleon really fucked up so bad Sardinia fell for the first time in 100 years. Napoleon II, yeah. Napoleon I in many ways too. He didn't prepare a legacy. He didn't prepare for his death. And as a result, it's really screwed up our nation and lost his heirs, their inheritance. Battle of Cagliari outside the city. Desperate defenders are not enough here. 150,000 Bavarians are marching south right now. And they certainly cannot be stopped here. Caesarea has fallen now as well. The last holdouts in the south, and then we will have to capitulate. Oh, they split our army in half too. We just cannot maneuver against them right now. Ironically, not controlling our capital city and Cagliari has put us into a surplus here, but I think that's because we just don't have a military anymore. Man, we have certainly fallen since the era of Solomon, that's for sure. If we had more men, we could actually fight this. We just don't have soldiers. Last holdout, then we're gonna make peace when they take this. We'll surrender unconditionally. We'll say that Napoleon II is with the last holdouts of his armies in the mountains here. And when this is taken, he will be surrounded. And obviously peace will have to be given at that point. Oh, we got to freeze. I think the war just ended. Or we got to crash. I hope not. Come on! I believe, game. Hear the sound of my GPU frying. Let me turn on my GPU fans as well, just in case. We are running Vicky 3. Well, yeah, it's a little spicy. We're a little hot right now. Now we got a spinning ball of death here. Vic is not responding. God damn it. I'm gonna give it a minute to load, otherwise we'll restart. I wonder if the peace deal bugged us or something. Within the fall of the Sardinia Empire, the House of Taurus shall rise from the ashes once more. Yeah, Saeumundr Torres is who will be put on the throne if the rebels win, but it's a very liberal government. He'll be in government of the liberals and the radical liberals, so it'll be an interesting to see how actually the post-war era will go. As I said before, think about basically the Russian Revolution, where, you know, the Bolsheviks had to fight the whites. The white army was made up of essentially both like more moderate liberals, moderate socialists, and then obviously monarchists, fascists, and everything in between. Similar situation here. It's just really the anti-Napoleon crowd, which is everyone. So the post-war government will be really dependent on the first days, the personality of Saeumundr Torres, and obviously anything else that happens. Oh, I think we do have a crash here. It's not loading for me. I'll give it 30 more seconds. Come on, Vic 3. I believe in you. No, it's fucked. It's not using any more processing power. All right, let's hope the autosave wasn't too far behind. I could say, Vic 3, you're bad, but to be fair, we're running a save translated save, and I've got a ton of mods on, so it's a little unfair in this situation. First day of school always on a Wednesday? I always remember it being on Mondays personally, or Tuesdays, but could be in your school districts. Oh, god damn it. God damn it. Yeah, without a save. Please, not day one of the war. You know, I gotta say, I'm happy to do this for the roleplay. But watching the country get sieged out is a little painful to watch, I'll be honest. No, we're good. We're the final days. Just so we don't get a bug again, I'm gonna try and surrender here. All right. Well, the war is over. As the armies of the revolution, backed by Bavaria, backed by Japan as well, we'll go in the roleplay that the Japanese didn't want to explicitly involve themselves, because obviously, after they already tried to navally invade Portsmouth and Britain, I'm sure they'd be wise enough to know that Europe would be looking towards them with a little bit of concern, so direct involvement would have been overruled by the shogun and the military command of Japan. What they did do, however, to support Simon, who was raised and brought up primarily in Japan as well as in Napoli for a time, is they sent him arms and they sent him money. So they did contribute, just not directly. Same with the British as well. But it was the Bavarians who entered the war and directly fought on the side of our government, of which we have to be very thankful for. So let's start with who's in power right now. It's a very interesting conglomeration of parties, but it is a monarchy that has taken power. So technically the king has the ability here to dismiss the government and put in place a new one. Given the power of these groups now, especially the radicals, he's gonna have to be very, very careful. So again, the backstory of the revolution. Obviously, Saeumundr Torres, I apologize, Saeumundr Torres, the last of our line to sit upon the throne of Sardinia. was ousted during the Civil War, and I believe around 1819, I think. So around 40 years ago, where Solomon obviously took the throne after inheriting it from his father, Solomon the Great, Solomon IV, who, after his true heir died, named the son of a common maid, a bastard, his heir, Solomon, fermenting a lot of very upset noblemen, very angry citizens, and very concerned commanders and admirals. The end result being, although Solomon, I apologize, I think it was, what's his name now? I'm forgetting. Was it Castoro or was it Solomon? Castoro, I want to say. Who was the one who got exiled to Japan? Saeumundr was the one who was exiled to Castalla and who was part of their revolt. I want to say it was either Solomon or Castoro who got exiled to Japan, but I cannot remember. Regardless, he was the last of our monarchs to rule, and he was ousted during the Civil War, when obviously he had a revolt against him by his half-brother, Saeumundr Taurus, who had the backing of Castalla, which was a much stronger power at that time. During the chaos of the Civil War, it was the radicals who took power. Radicals who wanted a more democratic government, who weren't quite as radical as Bavaria, but still quite radical, and obviously Napoleon took power. So during that time, the father of our current ruler, Saeumundr Taurus, was exiled to Japan. He found refuge there as very close allies of ours. We've helped them for quite a period, and we have very close relations. And as a result, he was allowed to flee there in his I believe, early 20s. Loud music. All right. I'll have to only turn on audio output, which means you won't get any game sounds, but that's fine. Will not let me put the volume lower on that for some reason. But thank you for telling me. Anyway, while there, Saeumundr is essentially remarried to the daughter of the, we're gonna go with the governor of British Shokaku, as well as a noblewoman of one of the clans of Japan. Not the Yusa guy, but another one. So we do have some Japanese heritage. We're like 1/4, something like that as well. He was raised there. He grew up there, his son, Simon, from a young age. He spent a lot of time in Japan, also spent time in the company, which obviously had not completely gotten rid of its relationship with the old Taurus monarchs, as well as some time, probably, I think, even within the Japanese military. So he would have been brought up with the Japanese military education and with some Japanese culture. In his mid-teens to late teens, he was sent to Naples, where after the Civil War had calmed down, Napoleon had centralized control. The old Taurus monarchs just weren't really viewed as a threat under Napoleon anymore. And as such, he spent around, I think we're gonna go of like 5-6 years there. He went to the University of Naples and got heavily enculturated to Italian culture, learned the language, and obviously got to know many of his relatives, those distant and obviously similar to him there, and built up a lot of relations in Europe, both, you know, outside, but also within Sardinia and many of the military as well. So he's had a very interesting upbringing, a lot of Japanese culture, so he'll have a lot of their military, what's the word, discipline, distinction. He'll value, you know, obviously honor and a lot of those systems a lot more, and he'll think a lot differently than a lot of European monarchs. Given he has the explorer trait, I'm also going to go with during his late mid-20s, after obviously he got done with university in Naples. He was a part of several Japanese expeditions alongside working with the company, so a joint Sardinian and Indonesian company Japanese venture to explore some of the jungles of Borneo, as well as Papua New Guinea as well. So he's very experienced, very well traveled, very interesting guy. He has a lot of different, what's the word, influences upon him. And as such, we're dealing with a very different guy than we ever have in terms of someone who has been on the throne of Naples. I mean, even compared to the throne of Sardinia, compared to even Napoleon himself. So let's look at him really quickly. His interest group is business. So we're going to go with, you know, he obviously probably had a lot of time working with the Sardinian company. He values expansion, industry, and business over most other things. He obviously probably cultivated a lot of wealth that his family would have still taken and owned within Sardinia and within the company, given that when Napoleon took power and they became an empire, I'm sure part of their holdings and money would have been restored by the empire. He's a jingoist, so very expansionist, being raised in a very militaristic Japanese empire. That makes a lot of sense. He is tough, he is ambitious, and he is an explorer. So that is King Saeumundr Taurus. We're no longer going to be emperors either, by the way. Well, we'll say in the roleplay that we've kind of lost that distinction given everything that's happened. So now, for him and for his current government, he has seized power with the help of outside influences, as well as those who brought him to power, many of which he would not see eye to eye with. I mean, he's not a conservative, but he's certainly not a liberal, right? I mean, rather extreme liberal. So for the radical liberals, the first thing we're gonna do now that we've taken power in Sardinia is overnight, we're gonna seek to immediately push all of the radical elements out of our government, essentially. Let's see if we can even do that. No, we basically have to have them in power. We could go the counter-revolution route, not gonna lie. Yeah, because all the groups we beat can't even be in government. I'm gonna do something very dangerous. After the war, and upon being crowned in a ceremony in Sassari, the city being completely war-torn, including the palace, in a ruined throne room, Saeumundr Torres will be proclaimed, and upon that being done, he essentially will institute a counter-revolution, a counter-coup overnight, where many of the leaders of the radical liberals, trade unionists, and socialists will have been gathered there for the ceremony and the crowning, as well as that of the military, the common people, and many of the local leaders who supported him, as well as many of the old officials of government who will move on to the new one. After his crowning and the ceremony was completed, he will then have in the chamber the leaders of the radical elements of his supporters arrested on the spot and proclaim a new government only with the non-radical elements that obviously support him. We'd have the liberals in government, we wouldn't have the radical liberals, and we can't. So we're gonna go with a very illegitimate government here to start, which is very risky. We're gonna exile the leaders of the radical liberals, as well as the leader of these trade unionists and the socialists. Oh, we can't do it again. Ah, victory. I love you so much. And the roleplay, they've been exiled. Those who have not been exiled are currently in the prisons of Sassari, and he will be instituting power. Given, obviously, he does not see eye to eye with these groups, but also undubitably due to the fact that he would have been aware that many of these elements and many of these groups would have been calling, frankly, for his removal and for the abandonment of the monarchy entirely. So he will do really the only option he has to centralize and keep power, and that will be to take radical action, which we will continue from. Water in my eye. Beautiful. It's a tear. It's a tear seeing how Torres is restored to the throne. All right, let's see our current diplomacy. What did we keep? Cuba and Somalia are both going to be still within our customs union. The company is still Dominion. Beyond that, we have lost all of our former relationships with other countries. The first thing we're going to do is obviously seek to reconcile and get back on good standing with the Japanese. Brazil is very hostile to us after the war. Why is our country still in revolt? It shouldn't be. I don't believe it is. We're defaulting on our massive debt we can't pay off, if that's what you mean. I mean, we're maxed out on debt, so that's happening. Or we're an illegitimate government. Well, yeah, so we can basically not reconcile with any of our old allies. A lot of Europe is very hostile to us now again as well. My gosh, we lost our alliance with the Miwar too. So we're basically back to square zero in terms of our foreign policy and alliances. So, and we're an illegitimate government too. Oh, this is gonna be a dangerous time. Oh shit, we lost our customs unions, by the way. Cuba just left our customs union, as did Somalia. They completely abandoned our current government. That makes sense. It was Napoleon II who, despite his incompetence, really brokered those agreements with Somalia and Cuba. So given that he's not in charge, they've backed out of the deal and we have lost him as part of our economic union. Very unfortunate, but not entirely unexpected here. Let's look at our economy. We lost all our trade routes again too. Oh, fuck. Oh boy. Set our diplomatic interests as well. Still says revolt, does it? Oh, god damn it. Hold on. I gotta do a save edit. You know why? I never turned off I think the command to make revolutions happen very quickly. Bear with me. While I'm doing save edits, I'm gonna make this more interesting and realistic. We're gonna have the Japanese ally us. It makes sense. They literally backed it. So I want to do that as well. I'll do 2 quick save edits. I don't like to do these in the middle of session like this, but since I already have to fix this, I'm gonna do it. Bear with me for a moment. Napoleon II was a great diplomat despite his flaws. He was. I mean, you could say many things about his incompetence. You could say everything about his corruption, but one area he did not lack in for a moment was diplomacy. I mean, he was exceptional when it came to that. Like, if it was EU4, he would have a 6 diplo for sure. You know, obviously. Can one of the mods make the poll requested by Andre real quick? If there's anyone here. All right, let me do the save edit for a moment. Oh, in other news, I have very good news. I was gonna have very bad news today, but I finally figured it out. I thought I accidentally deleted all the VODs for the Napoleon era of EU4 because, oh man, I thought they were gone. I could not find them, and I was preparing to like have to make a whole episode for YouTube out of that, where I'd just basically have to use like images and like a map or something. I thought all of it was gone. And it turned out that for some reason I'd put it into my backup hard drive. So good news, there will actually be Napoleon episodes for you on YouTube. There was almost a crisis there, but we're fine. Let's see if it was that. Looks like there are no mods here. I'll make that poll in just a moment. Oh, there's a command for this. Bear with me. The amount of like commands and like things like that for editing that Vic 3 also did not add just blows my mind. There's some stats that there's some things that you can't edit that just I don't understand why they didn't add that. I wonder if Paradox realizes how many people actually use commands to fix their games. We're good to go, I think. Yes. I'm gonna do one other thing, just to make this a bit more realistic. There we go. All fixed. Paradox don't care? Yeah, most likely. All right, let me make that poll real quick. As well. All right. I have added it. Beautiful. Okay. Moving on. All right, I made an alliance with the Japanese too. See if they broke it though. They immediately broke it. No, we still have it. We're good. I didn't turn off Yesman. We're getting there, I promise. What international flag is that? You mean the Chagatai Blitzkrieg? Okay. Which flag were you speaking about? You mean the Chagatai's flag or our flag? Oh, of our country. I'm not too sure. It's the one Victory gave us when we translated. I think it's the... I'm actually not sure what flag it is. Some of them I think are entirely unique, but it's supposed to be the one for Sardinia and Corsica. You can see both of their flags like in it. Like the head is from Corsica and the rest of it I think is from Sardinia if I remember correctly. Because we're not technically Corsica Sardinia. You got to remember, we're not just purely Sardinia. Our kingdom was founded on a joint system where Corsica was theoretically equal within it. Though I think if we had a British style flag, there would definitely be also a chain around the neck of whatever was representing Corsica, like the chain around the neck of the unicorn of Scotland. Similar concept. Yeah. I guess we just restart the game, it turns off. All right, we're good then. Make sure it's still not doing it. Cool. We're good. The radical liberals are immediately preparing for another revolt, demanding wealth voting. Quite radical, as you can see. Chagatai, they were, the Chagatai are one of like two successor states of Mongolia from CK3. Mongolian state itself is the direct ancestor of the original Genghis Khan. As you can see, King Zamso Borjin, they're direct descendants. They were the successor state to the Mongols. The other one was the Chagatai. They converted to Islam, got very powerful, and at the middle to end of EU4, they invaded and conquered all of the Ming and Southeast Asia. So they're a Mongolian successor state that converted to Islam and conquered China, essentially. So they're a super state. They are absolutely terrifying. And we were very good trade partners with them. I don't know if we actually still are. Yeah, they're still cooperative with us. That's good. We'll have to do all our trade routes in a moment. But before we do that, yeah, we just have a very illegitimate government right now, so we gotta wait. Well, I'm not sure what to do about them, I'm gonna be honest. Gonna follow. Appreciate that. Are we bugged right now? Our Navy is currently doing stuff. Yeah, the Japanese broke their alliance. God damn it. Victory, I love you so much. Well, we'll move on regardless. Fernando Condell completed his first official balloon flight with us and has set the first records. He got to an altitude of 7,590 meters. He went through 1,453 kilometers, and it only took him 35 hours. Very nice. Early aviation has begun in Sardinia with balloon flight. I'm sure a lot of wealthy folks are doing it for fun. I'd love to be able to get rid of our taxes and stop all these radicals. Unfortunately, we have 7.3 million in debt we need to pay off right now. Our construction is ground to a halt while we try and stabilize the economy and bring her back. Mom's girlfriends are over and they're talking about psychology and helmet our shit. Well, I don't know. It's not a complete lie. Most people are. I don't know. That's a two-race street. It goes both ways, but they're not wrong. Chagatai seems like a mix of Russian and China geopolitically. Yeah, so they incorporated part of Vladimir early on, which we had a post-Mongolian successor state in EU4. We were actually allied with them for a moment called Vladimir. They were Tengri, and they actually got subsumed by the Chagatai. So the Chagatai were like a conglomeration of like steppe nomads, Tengri Russians, a little bit of Chinese bureaucracy I'm sure has been integrated into the government, and then obviously a lot of like Sunni bureaucrats and imams in power. So it's a very unique mix. Very interesting. Which mods are you using? I've got, I think, around 10 of them on. I don't have a current list made of it though. Saeumundr mistook an enemy in the business interests. After accusing them of false charges, moderates in the business interests defected to the bureaucratic interest cause. Well, we can't show weakness, so we'll continue the course here. Yeah, I'm also amazed they didn't fall to pieces. They're very strong. They're very centralized. I mean, they're not completely modernized, but they're also, they still have agrarianism, but in everything else, they're modern, essentially. So they're only made hold back right now. God, this debt is gonna kill us. Yeah, it's huge. They're like the Ming's economy, except like they can actually grow it. Look at that. Man. Look at our economy again as well. I'm gonna redo all our trade routes and stuff right now as well. The AI was in charge of our stuff for a little bit here, which is never a recipe for success or competence. Build a weather station for our observatory as well. All right, and let's look at this mess. Rubber, really? Set our diplomatic interests as well. Test something really quickly. See if we already can trade with a Chagatai or not. We can. Okay. We lost our trade agreement with them, unfortunately, due to the Civil War, which is pretty bad, actually. We lost, oh man. The amount of raw goods we were importing from them that we don't have right now, that's gonna be pretty bad. Oh boy. How did Byzantium survive? Oh, that's a long story. The newest video on YouTube literally covers the whole Byzantine, at least the modern Byzantine problems. They didn't survive. The Mongols destroyed the Byzantine Empire back in CK3. and they conquered them. They were part of the Ilkhanate for around 60 years before that collapsed too. And then there were like 20 different successor states, all within Greece and Anatolia. Anatolikon eventually won the Greek wars of, or the Byzantine wars of unification, whereby they conquered everyone else. We actually backed a member of our dynasty in Greece. The kingdom of Hellas was of our dynasty. We founded them in a crusade. We tried to push them to found Byzantium, and we lost that. Hellas lost to Anatolikon, which was actually ruled by one of the successor children of Genghis Khan. So Genghis Khan's ancestors ruled it for a really long time. They do not anymore though. They died out and replaced by the Obertengi. So, but for a long time. Long story of Byzantium though. So much has gone on there. Send an expedition to the Pacific as well. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay. See if we can export anything as well. So pause, that'll switch, I think. Should at least. Let's make Naples go also to market squares. Beautiful. Finding alternative sources of income import will be hard. Oh, very. Chagatai has all the raw goods in the war world, and they're going to be exporting them to other people now. And we are going to get another civil war, by the way, against the radicals. We are not done yet. Despite seizing power and pushing them out of government, we are still having a major revolt about to occur. So, I'm going to change the stream title in a moment to the Third Civil War. My God. Why does Spain own Epirus? There is basically a partition of Byzantium when they briefly adopted a revolutionary government in EU4. A lot of states took territory. A lot, including us. We took Crete, which we still own. They were very, very powerful after unification, like EU4, and then the revolution overthrew their government. They were ruled by a consul, I think, for a while. And then the Fatimids, the Bavarians, and everyone else in Europe basically partitioned them before putting back a monarch on the throne. Admiral Ikrolani, an associate of the revolutionary radical liberals, is known to have some doubts about his convictions. It may be possible to use this hesitancy to the government's advantage. Let's try and get him to support us. Actually, we can reconcile with him, but maybe we can get him to stay loyal to us during the Civil War, so we'll go for it. Do you think Hearts of Iron will be a mess? Actually, I don't. I don't think it'll be too bad. The borders are just too consistent. I mean, you really need to get a trade agreement with the Chagatai again. Not having that is fucking us so hard. Oh, we may not be able to get it again, actually. That's pretty bad for our economy. I'm not gonna lie. That's very bad for our economy. We were incredibly dependent on them for everything raw. No, it's not a fuck up. It's just a situation where our government is not under the rule of Napoleon II. His diplomacy was doing more than I think many people gave it credit for. Not only did we lose our customs union and all those cheap goods, but we don't have the relationship with the Chagatai he did either, so we will not be getting back our preferred trading status with the Chagatai. Oh boy. We have a competent leader, but he's lost all the diplomatic connections our old government had. That's going to be rough for us here, not going to lie. Beautiful. We can reform a proper government now. We'll reform one with the professional interests and the business interests as well. A lot of the groups we pushed out of government during the Civil War have come back, including the conservatives and the bureaucratic interests as well. So there's actually some other groups that have the semblance of power that can support us. We're going to immediately put them in power. So essentially our government is basically just run by non-ideological forces right now. The professional interests, the business interests, obviously all those people have political opinions and ideology, but they're not like purely ideological. They're more practical, they're more pragmatic, and they can run a government with us right now. While we try and get the more radical groups to be a little lessened in power. Look how much power the radical liberals have. They have a very small population, though. Do you play Stellaris in these mega campaigns? Yes, I do. Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to that. I have a mod list already made, and just a reminder, if you want to have a civilization in the Stellaris portion, there's a forum announced in my Discord. If you'd like to make a civilization to be included for Stellaris. If you want to make one with an interesting background or something. We're out of people again. So much debt. All that fabric we were getting from the Shagatai is gone now. Are the Hellenics still around? Yeah, there's still people worshipping the old Greek gods and Roman gods in... There's a sizable amount of them in Tunisia and in Napoli. Those are the main places. Yeah, we just got completely out of the world economy in this civil war. That's the big reason they're so disastrous in Vic 3 is the way that trade routes work. A lot of trade route competitiveness is based off of like the timeline and the time length of the trade route. So if you've had a trade route with a country for a long period of time, you will actually keep it sometimes, AI will keep it sometimes even more over like more profitable ones. It's kind of how the system works. So that is a bit of a problem for us. And we have a revolt. Alrighty. It's a very small one. They have basically no soldiers, but members of the, hold on. How did they get all that land? There's 70,000 of them. I fucking hate Vic 3 sometimes, man. They got all the battalions too. That makes no sense. They don't have enough people to do that. I'll try and do this in a reasonable manner, otherwise I'll do save edits because that is bullshit. If I can get an AI to come in and help us and win this war and we get more war ravaged, I don't mind, but there's no way in hell the radicals would have all that land. There's only 70,000 of them in the entire country. Fernando Quandel tried to fly his balloon as far as possible, and he completely failed. All right, we're not keeping up on aviation very well right now. That's fucking annoying. Vic 2, yeah, Vic 2 right now has better combat. I agree with you. In its current iteration, I don't like the style. I do enjoy the style of Vic 3 more. It's just not polished enough. Oh man. Revolts also need to be so reworked. There's a lot of great fixtures in Vic 3 that just need completely reworked and need to actually function properly, which they don't currently. I haven't played it, but wasn't it just straight up a CK2 combat system? Yeah, pretty much. CK2 and EU4 have a love child. It's very basic, but it does work, right? It's just like point and click and like compose your armies like EU4 with different amounts of them. and then just hope you roll good generals. It's a very basic system, but it, you know, sometimes basic is good because it just works consistently, right? The simplicity of Vic 2 systems is really their advantages. Christ, alright. I'm gonna do a save edit, fuck this shit. I can just do this. I don't even know to do one. I'm just gonna capitulate as the rebels. I have no problem fighting civil wars and having more of them, but if it's just as absolutely fucked as this, I'm not going to do it. Makes no roleplay sense, makes no logical sense. Did we just lose the fucking... Oh, I swear to God. Okay, we're fine. We're good. We're good. All's good. We'll just say in the roleplay that there was an uprising in the capital by the radical liberals and they were put down by the government and by the military. There's no way they would have gotten all those soldiers to fight for them. Well, victory in the revolution, the provisional government under Torres is now able to formalize its desired form of rule over Sardinia. Smoke of revolutionary war has been cleared from the air and with it the sense of profound uncertainty over which point of the provisional government desires to lead the nation. We're keeping the monarchy, obviously. All right, we have a government. It is somewhat stable for the moment, too. I think we lost all our trade routes again, though. No, I think we have them. Yeah, we have them. We're fine. Good. Technocrats blown out again? Yeah, absolutely. This ain't no Tommy K stream here. We go old school. Alrighty. Let's go back to the Vicky's Free playlist. Please tell me the AI didn't just delete all our buildings. No, I changed them all. Physical pain. Go Wagnerian Orchestra. Cheating reported. I know. It's horrible. Report me the paradox. I'll be banned from streaming. The lack of esports is unacceptable. Okay. I think we are good. Hold on, the capital moves to Naples? Interesting, but no. Okay, Brazil. Mexico. Caribbean. Somalia. We'll call it there. All right. Tripoli is not incorporated? The fuck? Are we bugged again? I'm a little worried right now. Or did we just have buildings deleted? No, we didn't. hell is happening right now? I'm gonna restart. We've got some buggy shit going on. I'm gonna restart the game real quick. See if that works. Oh boy. It's a spicy one today. Completely turn off debug mode when we launch this time as well. See if that helps. Who owns Rome? The Papal States still do. We haven't taken it yet. We have not fought a war against the Papal States, I believe, since the... Oh, man. I think the last one was the war we fought when Solomon was still in his younger years. Before the War of Byzantium. I think that was actually the last time we fought them. So that would have been around 40 years ago. Been quite a while. I just haven't been on our mind. We've had bigger fish to fry. We've been in more problematic wars. I think we talked about before in Vic 3 already, they're definitely high on our agenda for expansion, but we've just had so many civil wars and economic collapses that kind of hard to get around to fighting someone. Scientists from France told us today that one of their colleagues has discovered the previously unknown planet of Neptune. God damn it, they beat us. We need to really put more money into science too. In this era, like, discoveries were so big for prestige. Hold on, we can visit the opera? Oh, this is where we see it. Yearly musical tradition. You get from the opera house, from technologies. That's fucking sick. Yeah, you can see a list of who discovered what. We're really far behind. Bremen has discovered Vesta and Paulus. Britain discovered Uranus. Nice. And France discovered Neptune. Yeah, I really like this mod that we added. That's so much flavor. Well, we'll work on that when we stabilized our government a little bit, though. That's because we don't have enough people to fill them. Hold on, why is this happening? Yep, they don't have enough people. It's hiring right now. We'll be all right. I hope we get some more cultural stuff like soon in the base game. Astronomy, archaeology, paleontology were all huge topics during this era. I agree, Anrek. I'm running a mod that does it, which is fantastic. But in base game, it'd be cool. I would imagine archaeology will be one of their DLCs down the line, or a flavor pack or some bullshit. The manufacture of steam engines has become a profitable industry in Sardinia thanks to our sound investment in locomotive technology. These engines are already being employed across Sardinia railway lines. Beautiful. We may lose our great power status here. Our military is up to date, right? Yep. Now we're just really falling behind right now. The post-war era has had us accumulate large amounts of debt to be able to pay for the war, which we are happy now to pay off. We're obviously trying to stabilize our government once more under the monarchs of House Taurus. No easy thing to do. The liberals under Saeumundr Torres, who then exiled and imprisoned many of the radicals and had a second revolution. We've got a very unstable government right now, which is basically without ideology. It's just run by the king as he's trying to stabilize the country. We do have the agrarian and the right party formed right now as well, so. Does he have a son? No. No, he does not. None at all. I think we can do royal marriages, can't we? Isn't there a way to do that? Thought I had a mod on that lets you do that. See if I can remember. I've sworn there was a mod on for this. Seek royal marriage. If he's older than 36, we can seek a royal marriage. He's unmarried right now. He was a military officer of the Japanese army. He was an explorer, and then he fought a revolution. At 32, he's completely unmarried and has no children. He's got stuff to do, you know? He's a busy guy. And there's always whorehouses, you know? He's a practical guy. Maybe we'll have to find a bastard in one of the pleasure houses of Sassari. Worst case scenario. There might be one or two down there. I don't think he's the type to be above that. What's up, Jay? How are you doing? The competition between paleontologists was so fierce they call it the Bone Wars. Oh yeah, it was wild. And the explorers, they need to really work on the system for exploration. It was so much more competitive and so much bigger of a deal as well. If they'd actually incorporated the newspaper system from Vic 2, they would have been able to, I think, show that very well. Where oftentimes the front page of the newspaper wouldn't be about a war, even a big war ongoing. It'd be about, like, you know, some new exploration or something. Pretty crazy. Right, this will be expensive, but I don't want us to not be a great power. We really got to work on our bureaucracy too. I assume we're just don't have enough people for it. We don't have enough people for anything right now. Yeah, recently moved capital. We're going to be losing a big amount of bureaucracy for 4 years, so we're going to have to compensate. God damn it. It wasn't supposed to move. We'll just go with post-revolutionary issues. We can work with that. So we will have to expand our bureaucracy as well. But we can't really construct until we pay off more of the debt, too. I have to say, I was expecting Victoria 3 to be much more of us being in a very strong position, kind of throwing our weight around. And it's really the opposite of that. And I don't mind it. It'll make Hoi 4 so much fucking more interesting, you know? We're not going to be the big power I thought we were quite yet. I prefer it that way. We'll have our time in the sun. We've had it before, but I mean, we'll have it, you know? We have a lot we need to work on too. Coal's the big one. Do we actually have any more places we can develop coal? Thankfully, private industry is still being built while we're busy. Sumatra. We have an heir. We have a son. Lorenzo Torres. He's religious, you little shit. Disgusting. He's a royalist. I know how we're gonna play this. I'm gonna make this more interesting. Okay. No. That's good. That'll be fun. Well, we have a son. He's got some serious bedhead. He does look like a gremlin. I agree with you. God damn, child. He comes out of the womb of a full head of hair, and it's not a nice one. Hopefully he grows into it. Nationalism has been discovered. So obviously a lot of the pro-Italian unification, it's the word, movement is certainly growing in power in our country right now. Kind of an inconvenience for us given we're so weak and we have so much other stuff we kind of have to deal with at the moment, but one of those things where you can't kind of just have to deal with those situations. Unacceptable government. We're not forming one with the church. That's not happening. We'll found one with a bureaucratic interest instead. We certainly will not be doing one with the church. We haven't fallen quite that far yet. Stop paying the government employees. We need more money. Pay the military properly, though. Unrealized taxes from our bureaucratic deficit. I am going to actually continue our construction just for a moment because I want to build up more governmental administration. Oh god, we have no infrastructure there either. That's the thing. There's some stuff we just kind of have to make. We don't really have a choice. No. We can hold it. We can hold it for now. This stuff has to get done. We need to get out of our bureaucratic deficit. We need those railways so we actually can use our industrial hub, which is Campania. Napoli is like the hub of our kingdom right now. It's not really Sardinia anymore, both in terms of population and industry. Jesus Christ, Chagatai is annexed into Indochina, the Pasai. Doing good, man. Just got off work. I'm pretty happy. Hell yeah, dude. Still liking that job you're working? Your miracle job? You know, the scientific culture of our country, it takes longer or shorter for researchers to leave the university and become available to us. Interesting. Oh, yeah, very slow. I mean, our education rate is not very high. We have public schools now. That was one of the things that our current king did promise for all those who supported him, and he has done that. So we at least do have some quality education now for the common people. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm very glad to hear that, man. Good job, Czar. Oh. I'll change your life. Sardinia's actually just falling apart right now, praying for their success in the future. Yeah, they are. Absolutely. We're very much in a rough patch here. After the heights that we were taken to under Solomon and Napoleon I, we have fallen once more. Heavily. Where's the Colorado? You can get me a job there? Oh, shit, dude. Oh. I did a tiny bit of roofing before. That's pretty rough. I don't mind it. I mean, I'll work drywall, but... Oh. The fuck? Bavaria is invading Lithuania. God, they are such a menace to Europe right now. Oh, gutter cleaning. Gotcha. For some reason I thought roofing was involved. Completely wrong. God damn, Bavaria is terrifying. They're gonna be going into Hoi 4 as like United Germany level strong. Except that they're communist essentially, right? Theodore Stirlin. Damn. Fergus O'Connor's still in charge of Britain. Windows to and even gutters. I got you. Yeah, we're no longer a great power. Oh man, we are really falling right now. This second civil war really took a toll on us. I'm gonna change my stream title too because the civil war is done at the moment. I think that's fitting. We'll go with that. The left has formed a coalition in our government as well. Wow, look at this. The left has been formed out of the bureaucratic interest. The agrarian party is formed with the trade unionists. They've gone basically pseudo-communist. And then the right has formed a party with the conservatives, the reactionaries, the church, the villages, the aristocracy, and the military forming a mega party. Holy shit. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, they're completely illegitimate. We're running things with basically just bureaucrats right now, and we're actually fairly legitimate. I don't know why. So we're gonna keep this as it is. I guess Simon is very popular. There's a great comment over our city. Colonial Parisi has often expressed a great interest in astronomy and observes the starry sky in his free time. He is the leader of the agrarian populace. We came to power with him, actually, so we know him fairly well. All right, come on. Give me that bureaucracy. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Let's build the railway, the motor industries, and we'll go back to it. People are watching map change colors and be like, yo, that's fire gameplay on one of them. True, man. It's Paradox games, really. I can't watch map painting anymore, though. I find it so fucking tedious. I don't mind watching, like, I'll watch those once in a while. What are they called? Like, there's a couple channels on YouTube that do it for Paradox, where it's like, it shows you the whole map and they're not playing a country over time. I don't mind watching map painting if it's not like a player doing it, but God, players who just map paint. I did it when I was younger. I enjoyed it a lot when I was younger. I won't lie, but I've grown so tired of it. Not much else we can really do here. Our investment pool has really shrunk as well. Discipline in the Navy has reached a breaking point. Let's go ahead and crack down. I'd like to get the... I do like this naval mod we've added. It just needs so much work. I really wish I could use the stuff I did, my naval changes from Babylon Roleplay mod. I really frankly do prefer them. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I also just like it because it's a much more balanced system that works better. Like Hoi 4 for 8 straight hours and feel like that's only 1 hour has passed. True. That's exactly how it is. I'm gonna race with the rest of Europe towards aviation. Really early too, 1861. To be fair, this timeline is moving a lot quicker than like our own history. I need to keep reminding myself of that. I think like, I'm sure y'all are doing it too. Thank you for that, Ben. There's been a... you look at the year and you associate it with what's kind of happening, right? So like you look at 1861 and you think, oh, and then you think of our own history in that time frame, but this timeline is very different. Things have moved a lot quicker in a lot of ways. It's a lot different. What is Spud video coming out? I still have like half of it written and like the first part edited. It'll probably be a few more weeks. As I mentioned before, like I kind of have a schedule for videos I put out, and I didn't have the time to do a lot of the ones that I've been working on, and I'm finally getting those completed. So a week or two, I'm hoping. We'll see. Like I won't just like, you know, ignore the other videos I've been working on to push that one out. So it's kind of, I guess, on the video assembly line. It's a couple videos down. I've been able to make some more time to really crank out videos though, so I'm hoping I get to it soon. Yes, it is still the grand campaign, Jay. So it's a few more weeks. Yeah, is what it is, man. I don't know what to tell you. It'll be good when it comes out though. I wrote the ending for it. I wrote most of the middle part, the beginning. Should be good to go. When I actually have the time to crank out the editing. I just don't like to rush my videos anymore. That's the simple part of it. Like if I don't have the time to really like, you know, do the editing I want, I'm not gonna shove that shit out. Like when I first started my YouTube channel, I'd be like, okay, I need to get stuff done every week. I'm just gonna throw this video out there even if it's not done. And I really try not to do that now. If I don't have the time and I can't get the quality I want done on a video, like I wait. Like the recent House Tours video I released, like it was 2 weeks for that because I didn't have the time to complete it. So I was working on other videos and everything's going on. And I didn't just throw it out. I thought about it, but I was like, nah, I want to wait and do it right. So I don't know. I prefer doing it that way. When I rushed out videos, I always felt shitty about them after. And I still do now. Okay, what do we want to research next? We're going to baking powder. We could certainly use some more groceries. All right, actual infrastructure in Campania. Our industrial hub will be able to be connected to the rest of our kingdom. And we'll have the motor industry. How many engines do we actually need for our economy right now? 12, we'll be fine with those. We need to work on coal. We're actually able to pay off our debt while constructing, so I'm going to go ahead and keep doing that right now because we just can't stay behind on this stuff. We'll have people migrate to Sumatra if needed, but we really need that coal. Your dad made barbecue was very good. Oh yeah, man. Back in the day when I was younger as a kid, I always used to barbecue stuff for the family. My dad did it until I think I was like 12 or 13. And then he taught me how to do it. And I just liked doing it so much I did it. Why not? Grilling's fucking fun, man. I don't know, I like it. Smells good. You get good meat, you gotta kind of make it yourself-ish. It's fun to do. I don't understand people who just like sit at the grill and watch it, but like, you know, doing it while doing other things is fun. Always tastes better that way too if you don't burn it really bad. All right, we get on infrastructure in Campania? Yes, we are. Have we get it fully? Actually, might not have enough here. It's not fully worked right now. We should be good. Yeah. We need another though, because I am going to expand more there. Not our biggest priority, but I will add another railway on Campania. Anywhere else we actually are going to be in need of infrastructure. Sardinia as well. Okay. Fair. We'll work on getting more of the coal, which is really a big issue for our economy right now. And then we just need a lot of wood and a lot of fabric because we can't get that from the Chagatai anymore. God, that is brutal. Max it out in Tuscany. Build up some in Abruzzo. A little bit in Calabria too. The hell is Bavaria doing? Rapidly expanding and taking everything they can. They can form the South German Confederation, by the way, folks. I don't think we're going to get Germany. They might form Germany. I think it's more likely we're going to get the Southern German Confederation. If they do anything here. Yeah. Alrighty. We're really rolling now. When we get that debt paid off, we can balance our economy a little bit more, stop completely taxing everyone. Pay our government employees a little bit better. They're getting paid barely enough to survive at the moment. What's our biggest construction cost? I'd imagine it's wood. Paper, actually. And we're fine on it though. We just have such a big bureaucracy, we have no choice but to deal with that. All our basic subsistence goods we are not meeting demand for right now. Due to, I still can't believe how reliant we were on the Chagatai for everything. It's kind of mind-blowing. Oh, fuck. The labor movement! Just as the world becomes more industrialized, so too do the workers become more organized, campaigning for better wages and better working conditions. We've already heard about that by now. We'd be very aware of what it is, given how prevalent it is in Bavaria. "20-year-old Theodore de Fickelmont, look at that beard. What the hell is he putting on that?" I mean, I could grow big beards at 20, but I don't know if I could have even done that. Holy hell, dude. This guy was like out in Illinois cutting fucking trees or something. Taking injections of just pure testosterone or something. My God. He has a kid too. No traits though. This guy's a bit of a beast. He has a child and a beard that could put Marx to shame at 20 years old. And he's an emperor. Not bad. Another balloon run. We've got quite a few of those going now. Need our money. We'll do this later. We can build a Suez, just a reminder, folks. It's just that we've been so, what's the word? In decline and economically distraught that we've been unable to even survey it yet. In the roleplay and in history, it was already built. Like, it was built by the Egyptians back in EU4, but when we took it from them, just a reminder, they did blow it. So it got blown up, essentially. We have to rebuild it. It'll be very expensive. And after Napoleon's death, we've never been in the financial shape to do it. Okay, actual coal for our economy. We need a lot of it. Oh my God. Chaghatay's invading India. They're invading the Orissa. Oh boy. They're allied with the Japanese too. I keep forgetting that. They're about to go fully into India. You haven't vaped in 17 hours. I feel like I'm on the verge of baby rage. Nicotine withdrawal is a bitch, Jay. Let's work on modern sewage systems. I can pronounce words today, I swear. How many more sessions of victory before we get on to Hoi 4? I'd say probably 3 to 5. It really depends on what happens and things like that. If we get into big wars and things, I'll take it really slow for a while. But I don't want to force things to happen. I feel like, especially when I used to do roleplay campaigns, I always felt very much like I had to make action happen. Like I had to make things interesting. And especially for the mega campaign, I really try not to do that. If we have, like, it happens and the reasons for I try to do it, but I'm really trying to avoid nowadays, like, making stuff happen to make it happen. I know it may not be as interesting to watch, but I find in the long term it makes things more realistic and interesting. So it really just depends on what happens, to put it frankly with you. All right, industrial port. We can fully modernize our maritime industry. We go steamships. We will go to all steam convoys, and then we're going to go for fishing trawlers on our wharves as well. Not that we have many of them, but a few. Huge surplus of convoys. I mean, I haven't had a real smoke in an hour and I wanted to go at it again. How would be. We're actually meeting our iron demand, surprisingly enough. Same with our steel demands. Very unexpected. For baking powder, get way more groceries. Should increase your standard of living a little bit too. Sources are low because, or not valuable, because there's no demand for them, given that all our people are so poor due to taxes. Fucking hell, dude. We need to get this debt off. I want us to get into a surplus again. Once we have it all paid off, I'm going to lower income taxes massively, start to get rid of the consumption taxes, and then we can get an actual middle class to grow again. I bet it's really bad right now. Let's look. Surprisingly not. It's the poor who are really struggling. Yeah, poll taxes and income taxes are killing them. Wheat in particular is very expensive, and I'm not producing it. We're going to only import it, so. Are we importing any wheat right now? Let's take a look at that, actually. It's our biggest trade routes. We lost so many of them in that civil war. Wheat from the Chagatai. If we had a trade port over there with them, we could actually get a lot more. What's up, Nico? How jank? How do you mean? See if we can actually get it to work this time. I'm going to go ahead and try and build us an admiralty again. Last time I built one, it bugged out, so you never know. Same with a general staff headquarters. So mega campaign? Yes, it is. Absolutely. It's gone all the way from CK3, started in 1066. So we have been going for almost exactly 800 years. Jake has this mega jank campaign. Oh boy. Oh no. The Chagatai have quinine, and they're currently colonizing the Congo. Because we're constitutional monarchy, cheese. Holy fuck, Chagatai beat all of Europe to colonizing in Africa. Oh god, they're fucking terrifying, dude. The less anti-alcohol policy is hurting their electoral prospects, as scores of thirsty voters flock to the right, hoping that a change in government will see an end to the country's temperance policies. By me? Well, not really anything we can do about that. The Arts Academy of Corsa Sardinia Lazio has become a major center of the realist movement, producing some of the finest works of our generation. Go towards the camera. True, Anorak. Oh, goddamn. All right. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost out from under our just massive debts here. We really need some allies, though. We have none. What about Brazil? Have we reconciled successfully? Nope. They're very belligerent. Wants to conquer states in Sardinia? They want to conquer us? Hold on. We have no land in South America. It's like straight up one Sardinia or something? Start to work with Mexico. They're the America of this timeline. And we're a lot more liberal now. We have no influence either, do we? We're so close. We're so close to being able to get a trade agreement with the Chagatai. That'd be a game changer for us. They're so dangerous, but we need them. If we build up more trade routes with them, maybe that would be enough. What do they currently have that we could use? God, they have so many tools. Oh, they need lots of tools. And steel. We could enable them, literally. We could start exporting steel and tools to them. Yep. All right, let's make way more steel and start exporting it. If we get the Shagatai relying on us for steel, that'd be big. That being said, we are going to enable them to become so much stronger if we do this. Nothing we can really do to avoid it, though. Oh, we're so close to a trade agreement. All right, what else did they need? They needed tools, I think, right? Do we have a surplus? Shagatai. See if that's enough. Oh, we're so close. If we gave them an obligation, we can get it, but I think we can do about it. We just need like 1 or 2 more trade routes. Let's see, what else can we export them? Maybe... Please tell me they can't take these. Oh my god, they can. They have ironclads. Literally making a deal with a devil right now. Maybe artillery? Yep. That's about it. I really don't... Oh, we got it. So big. Trade agreement with the Shagatai. Once more, we finally got it back after a couple years since the Civil War. Oh, the goods are going to flow. Look at those profit margins. The right has dominated the election. Holy hell. Elections just got completed. The right has taken absolutely swept in the election. We have to ascend to their demands, more or less, so... Well, we're going to reform and work with the right. Conservatives, the reactionaries, the church, the villages, aristocracy, the military, and, let's keep the business interests. Yeah, the business interests. We'll keep them all in government. So the right has taken power once more, and our governments. I said before in that Civil War, you gotta remember, just conservatives weren't like innately not with the rebellion. Like, I mean, the conservatives kind of, some of them backed up Napoleon II, but a lot of them wouldn't have either because he was very weak in many ways. So we've kind of just gone back to square zero. Conservatism, jingoism. All right, what else can we get from the Shagatai here? Yeah, look at all that wood. Start importing coal from them as well. The fabric. I miss Shagatai fabric. Opium as well. What can go wrong? Okay. Our economy should get a lot of steam here. What is Bavaria doing again? At the moment? They are preparing to invade Austria. Apparently. And Lotharingia, they're going into another war. Wow. Austria controls parts of southern Lotharingia right now, and Bavaria is going to be conquering them. They're about to be on the doorstep of France again. Never ballooning. We couldn't beat the record though. Britain currently has the ballooning record in terms of aerospace. Okay, we're almost out from under debt. Oh, taking a lot for King Simon to stabilize our country. He's actually well liked though, which is nice. We haven't had a well-liked leader in quite a while. Oh man, France just joined the war against Bavaria. South Indian? Shouldn't be. Interesting. Lithuania might also join against the Bavarians. I don't know if they even combined could beat them. You mean for the king? It's South Italian. Wow. Let's see if anyone else gets involved in this war. We're just gonna stay out of it. Bavaria helped us take power, so we have no reason to get involved at all. All the great composers are in Bavaria too. America? They're still vibing under Chadicus Theodore Ficomont. Another revolt in Castalla. They really did collapse after they got defeated by Napoleon. They've never really come back from that. And France exited the war. They backed down. I don't blame them, to be honest. We're expanding somewhere. Taquerer. Whoa. So close. $500,000 in debt left and we're out. We're in the green. Let's see what we can do after that. I'll go ahead and start right now. Let's lower taxes to start off with. Start getting rid of our consumption taxes. We'll get rid of luxury items. Wine, meats, fruits. We'll keep the rest of them for now. With all this excess authority, we can actually do some decrees. Do efficient taxation in Sardinia, Campania, Tuscany, and Tunisia. Do urban services in Sardinia and Campania. Manufacturing in Campania. Education in Campania and Tunis. Some more efficient administration in Calabria. Actually, North Africa. Very valuable region. And Marrakesh. Just love to drink Campania. What happened to your peasants? Multiple civil wars, Annie. Multiple very violent civil wars today. And 8 million in debt we've been paying off for the last hour in real time. It's been a rough few years yet again for our country. Rather by accident, Leopoldo Mezzacapo discovered a new star. At the moment, it's still being debated after whom it will be named. We'll name it after Sardinia. Nice. There's a star out there that will be named after Sardinia. You know what I could probably do in Stellaris? I could save edit one of the other stars in the galaxy to be named like Sardinia or something. Like a system named Sardinia that we named. That'd be cool. The recent investment in Campania production at our furniture manufacturers has raised the question of who should get the credit for the boost in production. Businessmen, of course. They make money after all. People just work there. You know, Here's employees. They deserve nothing. Actually getting more wood. Surprised the Shagatai aren't buying all our steel. I'm going to hold off on that. I want them to get reliant on it instead of Lithuania. How's our actual leader? He's very capable. Saeumundr Torres is tough, ambitious, an explorer. He's a jingoist, business interests, 35 years old, and he's fairly well liked. Bavaria to steamroll Lombardy and Austria. 318 battalions. Ironically, our GDP is actually almost half of theirs, but we failed yet again to beat the record on air balloon duration and height. So crack Jesus, doing real good. How are you doing? Okay. Sugar from the Cubans. We're gonna need to build another explosive factory. Actually, a couple more. We need to get another 96. We'll build a couple more. 2 more, maybe 3 more. Build 2 in Tuscany, and we'll need to build railroads there too. A nice couple days subbing for people in Millennium Dawn and a regular EU4. Nice. Thought you had a good time with that. Our university is looking not too bad. I think we have 10 or 11. Take a look. I'm trying not to spam them. We have, excuse me, a grand total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 right now. How many do other big countries have? Make sure we're not falling too far behind. Yeah, not too many. I think we're about right for where we're at. I don't want to rush it. Tech rushing would just be metagaming, so I'm not going to do that. When we have a surplus, we'll have some more decisions to do as well. I think we can found a archaeological museum. Start to hire some composers too. Oh my god, look at all that bureaucracy. What we have on this, I'm going to do something I was waiting to do since the start of the game. I'm going to incorporate and core the last of the states that were not cored for some reason at the start, which should have been cored all the way from EU4 and weren't. I think I still have the command for that on, right? Let me see. I do, yeah. Tripoli and Western Sahara. We'll do that. Cool, cool. Alrighty. Oh yeah, Lithuania is very strong. Ukraine actually is surprisingly strong too. Just kind of can't see it. And Scandinavia is thick as fuck up there. Adolf Gyllenstierna III. Very disliked. Cruel, hedonist, expensive taste. Oh, he's a character. My gosh. To be fair, I roll an Italian tech Russian in the 19th century. I know, but I also like to keep things balanced. I'm not opposed to us getting a little bit of an advantage here, but I don't feel our country in the roleplay is at that point. We just haven't funded universities well enough yet. Keep that one. Start paying our government a little bit better here. I want to work on getting that quality of life up right now. As Brazil still, they never owned Constantinople. They owned what in victory would be the equivalent of Western Thrace and Macedon. But they lost it back in EU4. Now they just have most of their original borders. They're not a big fan of us, though. After supporting Napoleon II in the Civil War. We still have that island. We don't. Oh, we do. We have the Azores. Okay, good. Austria has been partly consumed by Bavaria. quite out of debt. I'm going to take a quick break to go to the bathroom and grab some more water. I'll be back in just a moment. Where were we? Does the rebels in Castalla actually have any soldiers? Oh, they do. 33 battalions versus 74. 10,000 convoys. We just upgraded to industrial dockyards, so we got a crap ton more. Oh, we set a record. Oh, no, not quite. Almost. Oh my god, someone got to 13,000 meters already. Damn. Holy fuck, they're doing it. Holy fuck, they're doing it. I didn't think they would. Yeah, everyone's intervening to stop them here, I think. Yep. Bavaria's trying to form Germany. Oh, shit. Scandinavia, America, Castalla, Austria, Lombardy, Hesse, Savoy have all entered against them. Holy Christ. I'm half tempted to join as well. I mean, they helped us, but this is existential. They got all their puppets in the war too. No, fuck it, we're staying out of it. There's no way we get involved right now. Wow. Dutch joined too. I don't think they're gonna win it. I think they're gonna get steamrolled by Bavaria, I'm gonna be honest. Oh man. I mean, they're Prussian all but name, except radical leftists, so it makes sense. We could join on Bavaria's side. Well, now that is risky. Radical liberals have expressed their concern about government decisions, clearly favoring the interests of the business groups. Well, we certainly will not be favoring the radicals, so we'll continue to do it. Joining on the side of Bavaria. We don't have an interest in the region. Sure, Jay. I appreciate that, man. Just heads up, I have given the reins of the Grand Campaign to Mannix as well, so I had to pull out of organizing on stuff, all stuff on Discord. I cannot do it right now. I think our best bet is just to stay out of this. And this is a huge European war. This is bordering on like almost World War I. This is like the Franco-Prussian War on steroids. Almost again bordering on World War I. Britain joined supporting Bavaria? Britain is very liberal. They're a republic. They got rid of their monarchy and everything. Like the royal house is not there anymore. Oh man, we could enter this war. We're not that liberal though. We've currently got a conservative government in power and there's no way in hell they'd support us joining with Bavaria. The only way we could join would be with the people fighting against them. There's no way we could justify roleplay-wise joining with Bavaria. Not with our current government. No, we're just gonna watch it happen, frankly. Fernando Quandel has crashed in his balloon flight and was killed. He's been doing everything for us and he's dead now. It's unfortunate. Not big enough to completely go against our government. Fuck no. Can you imagine Saeumundr Torres going to his government made up of like very hard conservatives and be like, listen, I know you're just in power, but we're gonna be fighting with communists. That would not fly. The monarch still has a lot of power in our country, but he's not absolute. That's a surefire way to put us in huge danger again. Really just stabilized us. There's no way in hell. This is like the Americans after the Revolutionary War when they wouldn't support the French, basically. Similar concept. Do they owe them? Yes. Are they going to go fight with radicals in a very dangerous situation after just getting stable? Absolutely not. Not a chance. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Reaper? How you doing? Did you hear me and Monarch, mainly me, got a compliment for our quality of RP statements from the Star Wars RP? I'm glad to hear that. I hope the Star Wars game is going well. As always, lots of server games I'd love to join, but don't have the time for. Fuck, we gotta stop being a minor power. This is a real problem right now. We can't do anything because of it. We're a Polish diplomat. Nice. What's up, Aristocat? Is that Aristocat from way back in the day who used to watch? So, Commander. I think we're actually gonna get an admiralty. My gosh. Oh, what's up? Yeah, you're one of what those friends, right? Good to see you. We're building a general staff headquarters now, finally, once more in Sardinia, in Caesarea, and an admiralty. We'll go with the Civil War, just kind of destroyed the old one, so we're rebuilding it. Because we've had one forever. There's no way we wouldn't have. Fucking Christ, look at Chagatai. We gotta get Queen Anne here. We really do. We can get there in 25 months. We're gonna have modern sewage and we're gonna go for Queen Anne. We need to start colonizing Africa. The Chagatai own everything on the coast now almost. They're in West Africa, they're in the Congo, they're in the Nigerian basin. Need to grow our military again here too. Let's do that. Yep. They're the British Empire, if they were an Asian superpower. Okay. If they fully conscripted, they could get 4,000 battalions in 63. The war is fully underway, by the way. Let's keep an eye on it. They've got so many fronts, that may be their downfall. But then again, the British kind of just get to do whatever they want. They've already pushed into the Netherlands. General fucking Longstreet is fighting in Europe in this timeline for America against communists. Oh, I love mega campaigns. God damn. Fucking Longstreet's a brigadier general for the American Empire. Fighting communist forces along the Alsace-Lorraine border. Yeah, Longstreet had an amazing beard in real life. That dude. He had a nice fucking beard. He was by far the most competent commander the Confederates had in the Civil War in our own timeline history. When he died, Lee couldn't do shit. They're winning every single battle. No, they're losing to the Scandinavians, actually. Wow. Scandinavia is actually winning in the north. The French are also winning in Hesse. Ish. France trying to push into Normandy? Castalla is winning as well in Lotharingia. Oh man, this is an interesting war, not gonna lie. America's doing okay. They're fighting in Alsace-Lorraine primarily. They're losing over and over, but they didn't send enough troops to really do enough. Now Scandinavia is losing. Naval battle. Goddamn. The business interests have started complaining about the existence of subsistence farmers in Malta. Well, let's try and get rid of them. It's not like we're not trying to industrialize here. Let's try and work with the Cubans again as well. See if we can get them back into a market. I'm gonna follow Confundans. Ah, yeah. So much for the Chagatai. A huge excess of bureaucracy as well. Let's go ahead and raise one of our institutions. I'm gonna go ahead and improve national defense and our law enforcement as well. We'll work on both of those. Given our recent instability, it makes sense that we'd be doing something along these lines. And lower taxes again. Sewage, now we're gonna go for Queen Anne. Get into the colonial game if we still can. A statue of King Saeumundr was commissioned and has been suggested that be displayed proudly in Algiers. Absolutely. We're a humble man. We won't put it in the capital. We'll do dedicated staff officers for the military. Do an officer selection program. Napoleon instituted that, so we'd still have it. Train supply systems. I think the Admiralty bugged out again, didn't it? Let's see if it's anywhere else. No, we have an Admiralty now. All right, we'll go with Naval Veterans. Gives the military more power. That's fine. Or actually did it bug? No, wait, we're gonna get it. Cool. Yeah, Bavaria is just winning everywhere. Jesus, dude. They're not getting meat till Hoi 4. There's no way. I think the only country that could take them on right now would be the Chagatai. Or if the Byzantines, us, the French, Castalla, and Britain went to war with them. But Britain's on their side. Ironically, the French are actually pushing in France. They're pushing in Brittany and Normandy. If they can push them out there, they still have to hold the entire Bavarian army, though. What's the death rate? Let's look at the casualties. Very equal. Around 180,000 dead on both sides. 300,000 wounded. And you must be one proud Bavarian. Ah, yeah, most likely. I don't think Bavarian's quite like communist enough to be leading this Bavaria, though, I have to say. He'd probably be in the re-education camps. He's a dirty little capitalist who makes money off of capitalist systems, so I think he'd probably be in the camps, I'm afraid. Longstreet's getting absolutely his head caved in here again. Part of the reason is that the Bavarians have amazing commanders. I mean, they're really just Germany right now, is what they are, in all but name. And they're about to be in name when they win this war, which they will. Look at that. Super mega Germany. The Americans are beating the British. That's a time-honored tradition. General Charles Seraphine Pinchois. Saying that wrong. I keep forgetting the Americans are culturally French. Mostly. How could I? Defeat Comans. He's reserved. Oh my gosh. I know, we're not in debt. We're not in debt right now. It's amazing. See what we do with that Admiralty now. Yes, we do. It did not bug. Wunderbar. God, this is actually terrifying, though. We've got two mega states in this timeline. Chagatai and Bavaria are both just monsters. Yeah, the Dutch are gone. Lotharingia is basically gone. Hesse is about to fall. French can't even push through Normandy all the way. What's up, Spartan? Bavaria literally just reminded me of this time in Vicky 2 when Germany and Austria combined to form a super Germany. Yeah, I've seen it before too. It can happen in Vic 3 as well, and even in vanilla. That's the timeline where World War I goes very differently. There's a large push in our government to get rid of child labor. Actually, I believe. Did I see that right? Oh, which button? Yep. Restrict child labor has a lot of support from the agrarian populace and the trade unionists, and enacting cultural exclusion is very popular with the liberals and socialists, and bureaucratic interests too. We actually might be willing to do one of those. We have an agitator as well. Nunziante is pushing for colonial exploitation, because we currently have resettlement. Yeah, why not? We're pretty brutal. There's nothing I can unfortunately rename in this J. Vic 3 doesn't allow it. Oh my god, look at that. Britain just fucking carved a swath through the middle of France and met up with a Bavarian army in Alsace-Lorraine. Jesus Christ, dude. How liberal are they? Universal suffrage? Oh my god, they're more liberal than I thought. They have universal suffrage in Britain right now. Presidential republic, universal suffrage. I mean, everything else they're actually fairly normal on, but yeah, they're very radical in terms of their democracy. This is fucking over. Scandinavia is getting pushed back now as well. Oh my gosh. Scandinavia is holding here. They've got very modern equipment. They've got howitzers right now. Wow. I think. Shrapnel artillery. Still very good though. They're dangerously close to northern Italy. Are they taking anything else in this piece, or are they just forming Germany? Oh my god, no. No, 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 no. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck, dude? They're gonna take half of fucking France when they make Super Germany. Don't continue, there's a null state. Will that bug the game, Nico? Oh god, yeah, that looks like it's a bug waiting to happen, isn't it? Ah, fucking hell. Is there any way to get around that? What I can do is when the war is clearly winning, I can do a save it, I can go on them, I can do yes man, I can force the peace conference and give them everything but this, and I think we should be fine. I'll do a save, yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is basically the, like, Germany, European Union. God damn, dude. Just as global exploitation law looks ready to pass, Fernandino Nunziante rallied their faction, now has the support it needs to pass without compromise. Good. We'll wait till the war is done, though. We're not quite there yet. I've got saves, though, so we'll be all right. Only 38. Unifications don't actually give a lot of infamy. When they're full unified, they'll be at max. There will be like a giant coalition war with everyone basically to go after them. I wonder if the Chagatai might even get involved with it. That'll be interesting. We'll join that too. Most likely. Because this is just out of hand at this point. There's a couple null states. I keep saving. I want to see if it actually might not bug, if they get it normally. We'll wait till it happens. I'll load the autosave if it bugs, and then I'll just give them everything. Get that. There it is. Hold on. This requires some more fitting music, I would say. Where is that fucker? There you are. Yeah. He's gotta get played. Germany has formed! The Republic of Germany. Radically liberal, radically left. Took on half of Europe. Have a good night, Lady Grey. Hope your head feels better. Make sure you get some ibuprofen. Ibuprofen. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Let's look at their laws. See if they're still really radical. Universal suffrage, state atheism, cultural exclusion, collectivized agriculture, property of women. They still don't have workers' rights, though. Fuck, dude. They're not done with this war yet either. That's the fun part. Yeah, true. Hold on. There's a better song that fits more. Semi works. Hold on. See, yeah, there we go. That's the one we want with their current government. Yeah, we'll jack this one up. This is what it is. Gonna watch this happen in real time. I can't focus on running Sardinia. All of you, the world, would just be watching this happen, horrified. Jesus Christ, dude. Go from the Netherlands all the way to the Balkans. From Poland all the way to Switzerland. The British-Germany alliance timeline I was not expecting though. That is the biggest thing that came out of left field. I see it. They are very liberal now that I realize, but god damn.
Das ist der Krieg der Herrscher der Welt gegen die Arbeiterklasse. Der Angriff gegen die Sowjetunion ist der Stoß ins Herz der Revolution. Und der Krieg, der jetzt durch die Länder geht, ist der Krieg gegen dich, Prolet! Arbeiter, Bauern, nehmt die Gewehre zur Hand. Zerschlagt die faschistischen Räuberheere, setzt alle Herzen in Brand.
What the fuck would our king be thinking right now? Besides, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh fuck, oh god. Nah, he's too solid for that. What would he be thinking right now? He'd be thinking we need allies, obviously, and strong ones. And we need them quick. The church interests wish to strengthen our ties to the people states through our shared faith. Absolutely not. Hold on. I think there's another really good socialist German song. Yeah. Close enough. Because Germany is borderline communist, they've got collectivized agriculture and collectivized labor in their country. They went radical, like pseudo-communist back in EU4. And they're uniting now. Bavaria's uniting to Germany. They're about to conquer, like, they're about to annex so much. You got one? Why do these songs exist? Because of the Eastern Germany. And communism and socialism were very popular in Germany. Late 19th century, early 20th century, they were huge. I don't know about this one. This looks a little imperial. Oh, I'm not playing Erica. No. That does not make sense right now. Dude, the king will be partaking in a very large amount of wine to soothe his migraine. Yeah. He just annexed Schleswig-Holstein. Yep. Yeah, the communists and the left actually had more power in post-World War I German Republic, the Weimar Republic, than the right did. The only reason the right and Hitler got so much power is the more moderate and the moderate, little bit right-leaning folks worked with the far right and took very extreme measures to take power. The left was hugely powerful, actually, but the Weimar Republic of the government was always beating down on the left. They didn't really beat down on the right much. How that tends to go. Moderate governments will rather work with the right than the left. Save again, just in case we get a bug here from those middle states. Yeah, we're almost back in the top 10. I'm worried that the war bug though. I don't see any battles. France is fucking burning right now. I think we might be bugged right now. We're Germany might be bugged. And the war looks fucked up. Antiquarianism. They can knock him out of the war. All right, I'm gonna force the. I can't really force the war, can I? Let's see if I can make the AI do it. I cannot read German, my man. Just heads up. I guess the war has to continue. All right, that's fine. All right, we'll go back to less dramatic music. For some reason we can't see the war anymore in Sardinia. I'm not too sure why. Oh, that's the lyrics to the worker song that was just played. Gotcha, gotcha. I was just finding any I could, basically, given what they are. Stirling is still in control too, the liberals. Uncouth diplomat, well-traveled and direct. No, they're not in a position to negotiate. But given how dramatic this piece is about to be, they're not going to capitulate until Paris falls. There's no way in hell. They're about to lose a large chunk of their lands, to clarify here. Germany's about to be monstrous. Chagatai colonizing most of Africa, Germany eating most of Central Europe. Man, this world is getting pretty crazy for us. We're just too small of a fish here to really do much. Yeah, it's a grand campaign equinox. Started in 1066, so it's been 799 years. French are colonizing Madagascar too. We really need Queen Anne. God damn. We're gonna get into the game pretty late here. We don't have Queen Anne Lollipop. You need a tech to be able to do it. And I didn't want to rush it on purpose. Especially given our very chaotic state of our government. We have not had our priorities straight for quite a while. We do now though. We've got a very centralized, strong government head right now. So we're really going to start to get rolling here. I'm at the point where roleplay wise, I think our government is functional enough and we're stable enough to really get our shit together. So now we will start to roll a little bit here. Which is why we're building up our military. Yeah, there were a lot of tags issue with it, but I don't mind Equinox. I actually really did like the save translation to Vic 3. Overall, I was very happy with it, so. There were a lot of issues with tags, but I went in and did a bunch of save edits to governments and stuff to balance things out, and I was very happy with it, all things considered, to be honest. I'd like to get in good relations with the Brazilians again. We have a long history with them. They really hate our current government because they supported Napoleon, but the Americans I could leave. And I think our government wouldn't really like them. Colonial exploitation has passed. Are we a big enough reformer to really push for that? Probably not. after our loss of power, after House Torres being ousted and struggling so much to come back, I don't think we'd be above secret police, not gonna lie. Let's do it. We're gonna take that route. Saeumundr Torres is many things. I wouldn't call him innately a very moral human being. He's very much in line with other Torres monarchs. Ambitious, capable, not evil, but not a very good man either, necessarily. There were two Spartan. There was a really big one, which fucked up our country, and then there was a very small, short one. A counter-revolution, essentially. Alright, we want more naval bases. How are we looking? General military. 41 battalions, I want to get that up to 60, but there's no rush. 32 flotillas, I want to get that up to probably 50, so we need number 18. 5, we need 13 more. Yeah, the Balkans are balkanized. It won't last for long. Germany will carve a path to the borders of Byzantium here before long, I think. Need more art as well. So the roleplay, did one of the Torres heirs come back from overseas? Yeah. He's the son of Castoro, who fled to Japan in the Civil War in like 1819. So he's the guy who fled there, remarried to a half Japanese woman, the daughter of the governor of British Japan, and then one of the, like a noblewoman from Japan. Simon Torres grew up in Japan, and then he studied in Napoli when he was older, and then he spent time in the Japanese military. So he's a very interesting guy. GDPs? Sure. We're pretty high up there. We're actually right behind France. Chagatai and Germany are just huge. Look at Chagatai's growth, too. I mean, not only is Chagatai's GDP huge, but look at that growth. Steady upward motion. Yeah, constant growth, pretty much, almost entirely. Standard of living has gone up by a lot too. What can we do to push that up some more? We have surpluses of most of what we need. Or public transport would go a long way, I think. Port in Tripoli. Railways in North Africa. Point 4 will be very violent. It will be extremely violent, I think. Secret police was on everyone's lips in every coffee house. Afterwards, Fernandino Nunziante was ready to press the professional interest to help pass the law. We could certainly use it. And that would be a big priority for our king right now. He wants to keep power. He's not trying to have his family ousted again from power. He's trying to cement a legacy. And we are going to be using secret police to keep power in the future. I don't think our young heir will mind either, based on his personality. Nepal seems to own half of India. Yeah, they're actually pretty weak though, because they're unrecognized. Got a lot of battalions. Both the Indian countries are very strong. Even Mewar is actually pretty strong. The Chagatai did annex Orissa, by the way, so the Chagatai are also in India. I mean, where aren't they at this point? Are they in South America yet? I don't think so. Would Solomon approve of despotism? Which one? Solomon the Fourth? What's the big nation in the Balkans? Bosnia-Herzegovina. They're the big one. They're actually pretty strong. Another one of the Overtingi family, which is all over Europe, and yeah, they own modern-day Bosnia, Serbia, Herzegovina, parts of Croatia, parts of Hungary, and then they own parts of Bulgaria too. He's a fencer. Nice. Solomon IV. I mean, he was borderline a despot, so I'd say yes. Emperors and kings are really just despots with different names. There's not much difference between them. Just perception. I don't even have men at war. Come on. Colonies. No, Malaya's. The hell? Oh, I see. Our colony's producing them, and they're in our market. I understand. Could not figure out why we were producing old ships. It's because our colony hasn't modernized yet. In Fernando Lonziante's library, it's a popular new book with a vision of what the secret police might look like. I bet. Lawyers affiliated with a village interest say the contents are legally sound. We'll take one for ourselves. I don't think publicly giving out pamphlets talking about the benefits of secret police would work very well. Alrighty. The war is done. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Super Germany, formed in a war of unification. Not only did Bavaria annex many of its client states, it annexed Bremen, Schleswig-Holstein, parts of Hesse and Poland, as well as almost all of Switzerland, Alsace-Lorraine, French Comte, and Burgundy as well. That is fucking huge. They took on basically all of Europe to do it too. They're the Soviet Union of this game is what they are, OES. That's really what they are. Just very different looking. Yeah, Hesse is still alive. God damn. Ambassadors from the Chagatai have protested about the possibility of acquiring land in Sinai in order to begin construction of a canal. Not an inch. Get the hell out. Nope. You have taken enough. You are not taking the Suez. When we are not poor bastards, we're gonna build it. God fucking damn it. They claim the Sinai. Buddy, no. Don't do this. You don't want to do this, okay? It's not worth it. We'll let you through our canal. No tariffs. No tariffs at all. Great deal. We gotta build it before they get pissed and want to build it themselves and go after us. There's an uprising in Switzerland. Interesting. Under President Julie Marty. It was a republic. Yeah, let's look at the cost for the Suez. It's gonna be monstrous. Yeah, 1,000 bureaucracy to start off with. We can't afford that. We build up our bureaucracy, we can go after that. Another thing to focus on. All right, with our military, we're going to start looking into colonization and expansion. Obviously, we need to get Queen Anne, which, how are we looking on that? 25 months, 2 years. See if there's any other colonies we can pick up in Asia while we're waiting. So much of this is not really touchable. Could go further into Papua. Can't fight the Mastra. The Motu we could go after. They're a decentralized nation. Actually, I think that means we can't conquer them. Nope. Germany owns part of Papua New Guinea too. My gosh, I didn't see that. Fuck. There with a Chagatai. What about Paulus? They're independent. Very large GDP. They also own parts of... Wow, they're actually big. We might struggle with them. I'm going to be honest. The other option is we use our military to go after the Pope. I have a feeling that if we try, though... Actually, they like us too much. If we go out to the Papal States in Europe, there's no way other powers will intervene. We're not very popular there right now. There's just not a lot of options for us to colonize again, are there? The Hosokawa still have a little bit of land in Asia. Yeah, Egypt's pretty big. We thumped them pretty hard back in EU4, but we're actually on semi-good terms with them right now. They're kind of going behind a little bit on tech and stuff. If we go to war with the Hosokawa, we could invite the Japanese in and try and get on good terms with them again. They really like us. Us not being a major power makes them not really want to work with us. Fang? Nope. They're controlled by the Chagatai too. I really thought we had more colonial options. We don't. Yeah, Hosokawa. That's about it. That's our only option here, really. The Voice of Saba, a popular newspaper read by the conservative class across Sardinia, has published an article by Fernando Nunziante advocating for the action of secret police. Yeah, Matsu's the other option. Nope, it's not. We can't fight the Majapahit either because they're too strong. God damn. Asia's locked down now. We did take a good amount. We have some solid holdings in Malaysia and Sumatra, but... Africa's about it. Scramble for Africa, we gotta go full blown into. Okay, so let's work on our bureaucracy and up our colonial investments as well. Papua? Nope, there are no options there. The Maharashtra are too strong and they have huge allies. Japan, we can't fight because we're trying to get on good terms. Decentralized Papua, we can't colonize because we don't have quinine yet. Motu, we can't colonize because we need quinine. Germany owns the rest. Paulus is an option, but they're in the interest sphere of the Chagatai and they definitely intervene. So, yeah. There's no options. We are on the Great Power list again, though. Great. We can do some fun decisions too. Send an expedition to the Pacific. Gonna send Giacomo Garcia. We'll send our admiral to survey the Pacific Ocean. Anything else we can do? Not really. Archaeology. Let's gather an archaeology team. Right, so anti-alcohol policy is still continuing. We need some archaeologists. How do we build a museum? Go after the cities of the Maya? Well, this mod is sick, man. The thing is that the Chagatai will not fall apart. I'm nearly 100% certain that China really thinks are code to not do that. Yeah, no, they're not going to break. They'll hold into Hoi 4. I'm running a couple big mods, yeah. There's still disagreement as to whether the research expedition should have a focus on, if so, which field a trip should focus. Let's do general research. It's more for prestige. The right is dominated in the elections once more, 83% of the vote. We also would be starting to think more about unification in Italy, especially after Germany has happened now. I'm sure Saeumundr would be thinking a lot about unifying Italy. The big thing is we're going to need allies for that, right? Germany is very interested in the region, and in order to unify, we're going to have to go against them. And they really fucking hate us now, too. They're very hostile to us, so without allies, we're not going to be able to unify. So diplomatically, we need to start reconsidering and finding more options here too. I don't suppose, just out of curiosity. Oh my god, they might do it. Now that is interesting. They could want a trade union. Yeah. That's what they're going to demand, so we'll say no. I don't want to break RP and just deny it, so. But we do need them as an ally. How do we get that? We need to build up our military. Relations, if we keep working on those, which we can't. Is there any way to even get their opinion higher? If we became a great power, they might consider it. We need higher army power projections. What we need. That's what's really making them not want to right now. We need to get up our military power projection. We might be able to. True, Commander. We might get into the early stages before Hoi 4. America? They're too radically different. They're way too conservative for us now with our reforms. They also abandoned us during the Civil War, so we wouldn't view them very in a good light right now. Brazil I'd like to work with again, but they don't really want to. Same with Mexico. There's a possibility to add a special scientist to the expedition as long as he has the appropriate qualifications. Surveyors, naturalists, paleontologists, and astronomers are wanted. Listen, an astronomer. We've been the most active with that so far. Another one of our balloonists has died in an accident. A very, very risky profession. See if we could form a stronger government. No, we're good right now. We have a very, very actually popular government at the moment. Need more bureaucracy. Preparations for the Pacific expedition are complete. Giacomo Garcia has chosen the Volta as his flagship. The journey will go down in history under the name the Volta Expedition. All right, let's head off. We own a lot of the islands in Oceania, so we'll have a lot of port of calls there for us to resupply on if needed. It's because like we just don't have enough trade there, or what's going on? We're fine. Huh. The Azores are still isolated. Let's deal with that. Why don't you just focus on your colonies in Indonesia? Maybe try to take the big islands. You mean fight the Chagatai? Oh yes. There's no land we can take in Asia without fighting the Chagatai, which, I mean, good luck. Or fighting the Majapahit and the Maharashtra, because they're allied together. So that's another like 400 battalions and huge navy. Or we can fight the French, we can fight the Germans. Yeah, there's not really many options here. Or we can fight the Japanese. Indonesia's just kind of done. There's just no options there for us. The only ones that exist right now are in Africa, and we're just racing to get into the game. No, you're fine. You're all good. Just saying. We're in a bit of an inconvenient position right now, that's for sure. I'm gonna build some more universities too. I think it's time for that. We're definitely gonna focus on getting a bit more modernized here. We don't have the size, so we need quality. Need more music, actually. Build an opera hall in Campania, too. It's such a huge hub. Oh, we can only build them in Sardinia. Wow, okay. We'll upgrade ours there, then. We'll build a couple art academies in Campania and in Tuscany. For all the rich folks. I don't think our king would be down for invasion of Japan. Fuck no, he grew up there. He'd be very interested in Indonesia, but he'd understand it geopolitically well enough to know he can't. Oh, God. Oh boy. The early socialist movement did not grow from one united tradition, but converged as a mishmash of distinct philosophies, all vaguely oriented towards radical ends. By the mid-19th century, it became clear to all involved that the patchwork nature of the movement was untenable. Thus, the International Workingmen's Association, known retroactively as the First Internationale, was founded as the first serious attempt to unite the various flavors of socialism around the world. Held, I'm sure, in Bavaria. One element of success they possess, numbers, but numbers weigh in the balance only if united by combination led by knowledge. Past experience has shown how disregard of that bonded brotherhood, which ought to exist between workmen of different countries and incite them to stand firmly by each other in their struggles for emancipation, will be chastised by the common discomfiture of their incoherent efforts. Yeah, you do. To unite Italy, we'll need to fight huge ground wars. We have secret police. Wonderful. One of his first major huge changes to the government and Kingdom of Sardinia is that Saeumundr, in order to concentrate control for himself and his family into the future, has instituted secret police directly under the command of the king, which will obviously be funded by the Sardinian taxpayers. So that'll go a long way to ensure that we don't have to worry about losing power ever again. We need a lot more bureaucracy to work on these too. Grading our health systems would be nice as well. As you got it. Who got what? Need to build up some more construction facilities too. Jesus Christ, where the hell is our bureaucracy going? That's concerning. We'll have to raise taxes. What the fuck? Parts of the Sardinia and Indonesia company has started a war of revolution against us. The Byzantines and the Chagatai are actually leaning towards helping us here. The Byzantines? We're on good relations with Byzantium? The hell did that happen? Wouldn't be a bad ally to have, honestly. We have had the most toxic back and forth relationship with Byzantium. Really, there are toxic X. Like we've been dating them since we can remember. And it's always been really bad in various ways. They are the toxic X of this campaign. But you know what? The thing about toxic X is, it does feel good to get back with them. For a minute, then it doesn't anymore. So let's consider it. Yeah, why not? All right, let's work on improving relations with them. Wish we had a little bit more influence. We'll stop our working on Mexico and we'll send that ambassador to Byzantium instead. All right, let's mobilize. Saeumundr Taurus will be leading the men for this campaign. Fuck, our admiral is on that expedition and it still has that thing where if they're gone, they can't do anything. So we need to hire a new admiral. We'll go with Ludovico Mezzacapo. He's solid. He knows what the fuck he's doing. No, they did not like the secret police, I guess. It's a presidential dictatorship. Essentially, I think we had a coup by this guy, Patrizio Madao. He couped our government in the region essentially and is now revolting. I think we should be fine though. I don't think we'll even actually need any help on this. Oh god. Hailing from a wide range of traditions, the members of the First International are not quite as united as some would hope. Their disagreements largely coalesce around two factions, the anarchists led chiefly by Proudhon and Bakunin, and what the anarchists refer to as statist socialists, including Marxists, Owenites, Blanquists, and Republican nationalists of various oppressed nations. Trading fury and polemics as much as they cooperate, their disputes threaten the very existence of the coalition. The International only then can become a weapon for liberating the people when it frees itself, when it does not permit itself to be divided into two groups. The big majority, the blind tool of an uneducated minority. That is why its first duty is to imprint upon the minds of its members the science, philosophy, and policy of socialism. All right, good. Things are not going well in Bavaria. That's great to hear. I wonder if we have anyone there. God, I wish there were spy agencies in Vic 3. It'd be so interesting. We're gonna found a colony day one in Nigeria. Modern day Nigeria. Let's do Oyo still. Let's get some more strong music here. I'll play the boy. They took it in the War of Scandinavia back in EU4, you know. And the roleplay, I've just taken it to mean they're using it to have bases up in the north to stop the Chagatai's expansion into the Baltics and into Scandinavia. That's how I've taken it. Really, it was just a monkey AI doing monkey AI things, but we're gonna roll with it. The socialists are no longer just a ragtag group of lofty intellectuals. Now that they have acquired a semblance of political power, their differences have also become all the more apparent, as local meetings are now dominated by debates over authoritarianism and the state. The anarchists have emerged as a particularly anti-authoritarian faction and are beginning to build their own organization. This revolutionary alliance excludes any idea of dictatorship and of control and directive power. It is, however, necessary for the establishment of this revolutionary alliance and for the triumph of the revolution over reaction that the unity of ideas and revolution action find an organ in the midst of the popular anarchy, which will be the life and energy of the revolution. This organ should be the secret and universal association of the International Brothers. Good. Things are going even worse in Bavaria. Because they love the Varangian guards. Could be. By themselves, the anarchists of the early socialist movement are hardly a united front. The two main currents of anarchism are represented by Proudhon, whose mutualism promotes a society of free exchange, and Buchanan, whose collectivism pushes for the full abolition of private property. In practice, the anarchists oppose hierarchical organization and party discipline in favor of free and organic association, while stressing the value of direct deeds. Not from the top to the bottom, but imposing a seemingly unity and order on human society as the state attempts without regards to the differences of interest arising from differences of occupation. On the contrary, the Internationale organizes the masses from the bottom upwards, taking the social life of the masses, their real aspirations, as a starting point, and encouraging them to unite in people according to their real interests in society. Beautiful. Things are going very well in Campania. We're going to lead this ourselves entirely. Saeumundr Torres is a military man. Given his history, he's going to entirely lead this campaign himself. He will arrive in Malaya and put down the revolt of his own two hands. Not the full company actually revolted either. It was part of it in Malaya. Oh god, it's the liberals and the socialists. This was a dictator who's also a socialist who took power there. We really need to put him the fuck down. Socialists are infighting again? Dude, like, it's not possible for them not to do that. The left will, like, fight with itself every time before anyone else. Alright. Let's put them the fuck down. Here we go. Immediately, we're going to engage their very small navy, and then when we've defeated that, we're going to prepare a military land invasion. That's what we are going to do here. I think we'll have to split it a bit, though. Yeah, we will. I'm going to go in even with the deficit. I think we should still win it. Try this. We're going to make him our Grand Admiral. And let's go ahead and navally invade. How's the relationship with Cuba nowadays? We've been trying to get back on good terms with them to get them back into our union here. It's looking kind of unlikely. Let's offer them a trade agreement for an obligation. Why not? They can't do anything too major with it. Just maybe dead, but that's fine. Yeah, not impossible to get back. If we trade enough with them, I think we could actually get them back in our union. What do they have? What can we trade for? They need coal. We need coal. They need fertilizer. I think we have an excess of that, don't we? profitable. They gotta follow Pistola. That's weird. Because we literally, they just don't need much of it. That's the problem. Let's see if they build it up with us. The other side of the First International consists of a diverse set of socialists, pejoratively known as the statists by the anarchists. Unlike the anarchists, they attempt to participate in bourgeoisie politics in addition to economic struggles, either to achieve reforms or to advance workers' consciousness. To the more radical members of this group, status was a misnomer. They held the abolition of the state as a long-term goal of socialism while denouncing direct anarchism as undisciplined rhetoric. One should never believe that it is of small significance to have workers in parliament. If one stifles their voices, or if one ejects them, the reprisals and oppression exercise a deep effect on the people. If, on the other hand, they can speak with a parliamentary tribune, as do Bibble and Liebknecht, the whole world listens to them. True. You need a platform for anything. Have a very good night, OES. I will catch you around. I will not be streaming for too much longer, actually. Maybe another hour max. We'll see. How long until that naval invasion? 9 days? Here we go. King Saeumundr's first command of the armies of Sardinia will be put to the test, putting down rebels in Malaysia. We shall see how he fares. Have a good night as well, Commander. Here we go, landing. We're going to take the beaches here. 31,000 soldiers under the command of Simon is going to land. Beautiful. This will probably split the line though, unfortunately. I think they have only one army, so we'll be all right. They're holding that beachhead. Gotta give them credit for that. It's there. We're gonna need so much more bureaucracy for that, though. Wonderful, we've landed. Push the last of their forces out of the jungles in the north and this war is over. A quick decisive strike from the king leading his men and we are done. This is over. Beautiful. It's gotta wait for them to accept the peace though. They don't have any ever land in Indonesia, do they? No. No, they do not. I like to imagine that while the standard issue of your typical European saber, Solomon himself prefers a katana in the battle. I could probably try and generate that with AI. If for like thumbnails or for in the videos for this, I could try and do like an AI generated thumbnail of King Solomon, like European commander wielding a fucking katana, charging the beaches. I wonder if I can get an AI to do that properly. Probably not. Is he the first Sardinian Japanophile? He might be. His reigns there, a little bit different. Come on. There we go. You gotta let it go to 100%. Forgot about that. Our country is invited to an astronomy congress organized by France. The important question deals with the fate of the previously unknown planet series. Yeah, it's a large object in space. That's a planet. Absolutely. Amidst their many disagreements with the anarchists, the Marxists seem to have uncovered evidence of an independent anarchist alliance acting within the ranks of the Internationale. Such sectarianism they claim. Oh, god damn it. I want to read that. Watch the next one. Someone with a Cuban cigar and with a katana and a 6-shooter. Fucking based. Come on! Just give terms! We may be merciful. We need to really expand on our construction in Europe again as well, too. I'll build 2 more to start with. Otherwise we'll bankrupt ourselves here. The war is won and we have taken them back. Good. The Indonesian company is reunited now under Prince Peridulade. We've gotten rid of the dictator who sprung up with socialist supporters in Malaysia. The war is won! First major test of Simone. The Astronomical Congress has written its final declaration. 3 celestial bodies that have once traded as planets are now declared as asteroids. I don't know about all that. It's French, man. What the hell do they know? The Marxists have put forward a series of resolutions to, among other things, declare the necessity of a proletarian party and expel the anarchists from operating a supposed secret alliance within the Internationale. I'll let y'all vote on this. We haven't had a poll yet today. You guys are all members of the Internationale right now. Congratulations. Every single one of you is an anarchist, a Marxist, or anything in between. And you are all getting to vote at the Internationale on the future of socialism. All right, flash poll, 1 minute long. Poll is already active. That's not. Oh, one of my mods did it. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Whoever did that. Thank you, Tall. Appreciate that. All right. While you guys debate and vote on this resolution, I'm going to the bathroom. Be back. All right, I'm back. Anarchism will get this day, so the resolution will fail, and we're gonna go alt history. More construction. We'll get the port in the Azores so they're not completely blocked off. I don't know why our construction feels like it's going a lot slower right now. So the Volta expedition is fucking dead. Guess it's still on its way. Still aren't paying our government properly either. It's one of the reasons we're struggling on prestige here. What the hell has been up on my computer today? It's doing weird stuff on my monitor. I should probably do a really deep scan for malware. Brazil is no longer damaging relations. See? A mining course of Sardinia and Zulia has collapsed, trapping miners within the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made the tragedy a story across all of Carsa, Sardinia, Zulia, and the nation. A small price to pay. We're very business focused, so we wouldn't mind. We also still do have that tiny little piece of Colombia left from back in EU4. The only part of the Americas that we actually managed to keep colonially is this tiny little piece of land. 93,000 people there as well. Keep forgetting that we actually have that. Almost Queen 9 weeks to go. We got to be ready for our colonial rush, which we don't have the bureaucracy for. Yikes. See where we can even colonize to start off with. Is Quebec and Canada French colonies as well as American? Quebec was it was a Norwegian colony, and then when they got annexed by Scandinavia, Scandinavia took over, so they're a puppet of Scandinavia. Canada was a puppet, was a colony of Norway originally, and it got independent, so it's entirely free right now. America has no explicit colonies. They have a customs union. They're in a customs union with France, so that doesn't really even count. That's about it. That's why they intervened in that war in Germany. You're very welcome. Egypt wants a trade agreement. Sure. About to build a canal right through their fucking territory, so we might as well be on good relations with them. That's why it's taking forever. Minus 52% construction efficiency there. Holy fuck. How's our government looking? We actually have a lot of loyalists now. We're up to 1 million. Ah, Queen Anne. Alrighty. We'll work on psychiatry. And let's see where we can found colonies. Beautiful. All across the Nigerian basin. New Guinea. We need, let's put all of our interests in Africa. We need to go full in here. Congo, and then let's get West Africa too. We'll go East Africa. And We're gonna go all in colonialization here. We're gonna colonize literally everywhere we can get our hands on. Because there's nothing less for us in Asia, and there's nothing less for us in the Americas. Germany's already beating us to it. Holy fuck. No, they've had that for a while, actually. Now that I remember. They had that even in EU4, I think. We're good. What's up, Denise? How are you? Fuck, we need up our colonial affairs. Did I already go full bureaucracy on our buildings? Yeah, we did. We just need a lot more at this point. Alright, what else can we get? Cameroon, Congo, Angola, Gabon, Madagascar, and Mozambique. Everywhere we can touch, we're going to expand into. These borders are going to be disgusting. They are going to be gross. All right, this is a good place to stop. I think we're about at 4 hours for today, and I want us to get full to colonials next time, so we're going to be butting heads, I think, very heavily with the Chagatai and the British here, which will be interesting. Which we're not really in shape for, so we'll see how this goes. Interesting day today. We have the House Taurus back on the throne. We are in a semi-stable place again for the moment. Hopefully that will continue. And we're about out of options, so the scramble for Africa is really going to be our make and break moment going into the last part of the second half of Vic 3. So we'll see. You want to raid today? Go look. Not tonight. All right, I will be back tomorrow. I will actually not be here in the morning. I'm not going to be there for the grand campaign. I won't be there tomorrow. I got a family thing I got to do. I will be streaming in the afternoon though, so I think a little bit later I will have time. I don't know when that will be at. Probably around 3 p.m. EST, maybe a little bit after. So I will stream tomorrow. Just not normal. We'll be back for the full normal schedule next week and start the CK3 campaign. So, all right, folks, I will catch you later. Hope you have a good evening. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend.